Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians from wherever you're watching, in the diaspora, the home front. This is the much anticipated program that you've been waiting for after the Independence Day celebration, which I have tapped the Victory Parade. It all started with a lot of challenges. We saw the colonial administration and their proxies started by sabotaging it. Mefo sabotaged it before seeing even images. It already defines to us what kind of journalism Mefo is doing in today's Cameroons, the conflict happening between the Cameroons. The Cameroon military occupation in Ambazonia invaded our communities, our territories, brutalized civilians, but they were unfortunately being unable to find the Ambazonian State Army. In spite of that, the Ambazonian State Army across the national territory strategized and had an amazing parade, march past, celebration, expressing vigor, expressing strength. We saw a community of the Ambazonian State Army that is loved by the people of Ambazonia, contrary to the corrupt media rhetoric that the people are against the movement. We saw a state army that will commune, that will safeguard, and that will celebrate with the people of Ambazonia. This celebration of this year has a lot to say. I pray we'll have enough time to examine that in the diaspora, in Tunisia, in Brazil, in the United States of America, all across the world. Ambazonians from their homes with their small gatherings were telling the world that we know what is our Independence Day, and we believe that it is our Independence Day. Just a few hours ago, that was 6 a.m. Ambazonian time, I was invited by DEFCAM Radio, and would I say fortunately or unfortunately, Condat Titus, who calls himself my country people, was arguing and shockingly telling the world that 1st October is not just the independence of the Southern Cameroons. It's the day the entire Cameroons, the two Cameroons, gain their sovereignty. This is not just ambiguity in the interpretation of history, historical facts, legal treaties and laws. It is unfortunate that Cameroon will go that low by sending a proxy to now acknowledge 1st October that they intentionally hid from their people or their citizens. We're not going to spend or waste time of tonight to talk on that, but perhaps the lawyers who are already present in the studio may want to chip in a little bit as we progress in the conversation so that our people who are watching us all across the national territory of Ambazonia will be enlightened, in addition with the argument that I provided earlier this morning with DEFCAM Radio. But where we begin is analyzing simultaneously with the actors involved, the activities that took place, particularly on the ground. So with me in the studios is Commander Willy of Manu County, who also doubles as the county chair for Manu, and Captain Stallon of Bui, of the ASA of Bui. He's connected on a video, though with a military mask. You're not going to see his face. Don't bother. If you're expecting that you're going to see his face, you're wasting your time. These were the people on the ground. You know, sometimes it's important that we bring him, because sometimes when we talk, some of you pro-Cameroon or Franco-Cameroon insinuate that we're making propaganda from the diaspora. But moving on, you're going to have those from the ground actually giving live report on this platform, what is happening, the actuality on the ground. And this is someone who also doubles as a spokesperson for the ASA in Bui County. He is the official, or would I say, a press set of the Major General Tokandu. Every official statement of Major General Tokandu is done by Captain Stallon. And Captain Stallon, ladies and gentlemen, is with us in the studio. Before I bring him, he's going to be the first one that will be talking to you to give us some military briefing and to answer a few questions as to how the preparations, the ambience, and everything was done. No compromising information will be given. Before that, let us watch a little bit of some of the beautiful activities that took place at the home front during this time of celebration. Stay tuned.
Ambazonia State Army, call it the ASA. On year 1st October, now we celebrate and so 2024. Glory to the Father for making you a nation and joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall hear repent in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. You must, my God, be the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall hear repent in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. You must, my God, be the watchman of this nation. It is a mammoth crowd here, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here in Bui County, where Major General Tarh Paddy acts as the Supreme Commander of the Ambazonia State Army, called the ASA. He is the Silver Star Major General Tarh Paddy, who leads this battalion here, as you can see. Any moment from now, ladies and gentlemen, the march past shall commence with the military marching in front, while the civilians are following behind smoothly. And as a reminder, we are here to commemorate the 1st of October of... Ladies and gentlemen, can we rise up to welcome Major General Tarh Paddy as he arrives the field of the celebration here in Bui County. Today is 1st October 2024. You are live from Bui County with the Bui County Supreme Commander-in-Chief Major General Tarh Paddy, and we will be calling on all sons and daughters, all and sundry present here in the ceremonial ground to rise up as the Major General will be walking into the field of celebration. That music is being done in respect of Major General Tarh Paddy. As the Major is walking to his seat, the Major General has taken his position at the ceremonial ground. At this point in time, we call on all and sundry to take their seats after the Major General has taken his. Everyone can take their seats at this particular moment.
Attention. At ease. Attention. Yeah. There is land of glory, with the Ambazonia, flesh and loyalty. The praises Son and Savior who granted us our freedom. Let the soldiers see who bond the land with their blood. Glory, the glory, we rise and never to fall. Hear ye a nation, for it brings a honor. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation and join forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, missing our me, and your children shall realize the stars above. The Most we know what man of this nation.
People Colonel Ebube. Yes. All honor the Ambazonia State Army. Yes. If you say all man Ambaron close for Bamalo, one show them say all man see day. All man day. Yes. Yes. Now the say they know march, no march places they take place. Now march places they take place. Obama so. Yes. Now if you see the Colonel SSF, Colonel Ebube, and Rambo that's SSF. Yes. Yes. She shake no.
Greetings, fellow Ambazonians, ladies and gentlemen. A moment ago, you're watching. These are just snippets. Captain Stallon, please. Do you want to stabilize your camera, please? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, speak, please. Can you hear me?
Come again, sir.
Yes, yeah, you can hear me. Yes, that's good. Do you want to put? Okay, that's great. Ambazonians can actually see the masked person. I want to first of all applaud you for the amazing coverage. I like Ambazonians to understand that the voice-over reporting that was done live in Bui was done by the captain you're seeing there on the screen. That's Captain Stallon reporting from the home front in Bui. We're going to open the lines at the end of this program for everybody to contribute. We're calling on all those who are watching us on Facebook and on YouTube to share and to share very widely, because the discussion tonight is going to be intense. Now, just talk to us. Explain to us generally how all of this took place, because there is not much I can say than you, who was there as one of the stakeholders and the major organizers. You're welcome. Talk to us. Yes, Captain Stallon, can you hear me, please? If you can hear, just go ahead. Yeah.
Hello, Comrade.
Yes, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
All right. I would like to thank you for this opportunity to invite me into this program. Also, want to greet other panelists in the persons of Barrister Mbeseha, Barrister Fru John Nsoh, Chairman Willy, call it Willy. My words of thanks and gratitude goes to His Excellency Dr. Samuel Sarkozy, the President of the Federal Bank of Ambazonia. Equally, I want to extend my words of greetings to his cabinet, the Bui County officials, but most of all to the civilian population of Bui County, not living Ambazonia at large, most of Kumbu LGA, and our valiant ASA under the stewardship of Major General Tokan Do for the Bui Warriors ASA. As you rightly analyze, Comrade, many people will say
Most of these things are, as I saw one of these proxies from La Republic, who owns a page on Facebook called her Mefo, who says most of the images are generated. When I see such write-ups, I laugh because we do it real and we are live on the field. We know that in the past few weeks, the enemy was getting up to make sure that no celebrations should take place, most especially here in Bui County, because they said if Bui could be destabilized for these celebrations, then everything in Ambazonia is over. But it's unfortunate for them that such could not happen because we mean business. And when I say business, I don't mean trading. When I say business, I mean business in what we are doing, business in what we are fighting for. We are very serious in what we are doing, and we continue to do it. We are free.
That's amazing. Now I have a question before I bring the barristers. We understand that Cameroon military was trying to interrupt every activity that you people were doing on the ground. Now, this is not propaganda, like I said earlier on. You
Yeah.
were actually the one. I was actually talking to you and trying to make you give us images live. That was why it took ABC some time to even bring the images, because we wanted, you were connecting like you were connecting now. You are among those who were doing reporting, filming, and and all of this. How did you people manage to safeguard this entire environment? Because I'm seeing an exciting crowd there. That's not a crowd that came out under duress. That's a huge number. And the villages around, that's a majorly well-known stadium. And you people came, the people were excited, dancing, eating, drinking, singing with you people. Just tell us, what is the relationship between the Ambazonian State Army and the community, the Bui community in large? Just talk to us, please.
All Commissioner, thank you very much. I'll first of all answer that part of the relationship. We have a cordial relationship with our civilian population. We treat them well, and that's why when there is issues like this one, like this, they return out to their neighbors. No one goes to their place to go, they will come out, they will meet it together. Now, talking about the study area, as you saw in the March past, we are a very big number. We have a very big army here in Bui County, which is here under the control of Major General Tokandu. We have a very big army. And even that number you saw participating in the celebration here, we had almost half of it still lying in ambush positions to make sure that the celebration we are still free. So we safeguarded the area or the localities for a week to make sure that everywhere was free and safe for our civilian population. It's not something that we just got up on the first morning and then we rushed to the field to participate. It took us some time and this preparation to get our position.
That's amazing. I'm very excited today because,
And as, and as you know, it is
yeah,
often said, safety first. No matter what a soldier does, safety should be the first thing you have in your mind. So we make sure our own people who are coming to celebrate with us should be safe as well. Well, more often than not, people may think that the celebration is only for fighters. No, it is something that involves everyone. It involves all of us because we are celebrating our independence. We know the independence of fighters. So
yeah,
those who took that initiative make sure that they will be safe.
amazing. I'm very delighted. I want to bring the panel now so that they can react to some of the things you have said. But as as I'm trying to bring the panel now, I'm going to ask you a few more questions before I release you to go, Captain Stallon, because I understand because of connectivity and other things you have to do where you are, it's kind of challenging. But Barrister Fru, Barrister Mbeseha, Barrister Team. Commander Stallon, stay with us again. There's a very important question that you are going to answer before you leave. But you have just heard from the valiant captain on the ground. It's very important for us that we're having this conversation today. At a time when Cameroon would have tapped most of our fighters, our freedom fighters, as illiterates. This is somebody who speaks English more than even graduates that we know them. These are graduates. He's an epitome, a testament of the fact that the Ambazonian State Army, contrary to what Cameroon and my country people they want to tell the world, are not individuals that we have manipulated. These are people who have seen their people in oppression. These are educated people. Most of them are graduates and have been there for months and years without jobs. And they have chosen not just to stake their voices like some of us or money. They have pledged their life for our freedom. I don't know how else we can honor such people. I'll begin with you, Commander Willy, then Barrister Fru, and Barrister Team. Let's talk so that we can ask him some more questions before we liberate him. Commander Willy, talk to us.
Yes, thank you, Captain, for your energy and for your sacrifice. We salute your bravery. We know that you are capable and reliable, so we trust you, and that trust will be there forever. Thank you for providing security and support to our people. Thank you for guiding us. Thank you for pushing us forward. On Tiboria, we are together. Yes, fellow Ambazonian, he has spoken already to the best of his knowledge. At this moment, he will not be there for long in that area where he's sitting for security reasons. So, but he has spoken it all. As time goes on, I will come to elaborate more on that. So, over to you. He has spoken everything that we were supposed to talk.
Yeah, Barrister Mbeseha, Barrister Fru, please.
Yeah, Paddy, thank you very much for another Saturday. My dear country people, especially the Ambazonian State Army and Captain Stallon, I salute you. I salute you for your bravery, for all the work that all of you are doing. I salute Major General Tokandu in Bui. I salute all our generals and all our fighters and everybody who is fighting to liberate the homeland. We thank you for a very successful 1st October celebration. You have sent a message to the world that we mean business. Like you said it yourself, we mean business. We are here, we will always support you. We will do everything to liberate the homeland. We are fighting to all of us in our own way. You are defending, you have given your life to defend us. We are also here giving ourselves up to make sure that you are taken care of, that nothing prevents us from arriving Boya, and that you will arrive Boya intact. All of you keep fighting. There is nothing, you have already won La Republique. We are just waiting for the D-Day that our liberation will come. Thank you very much, Captain, for the job you do. Thank you, Major General Tokandu. Thank you, all the other generals on the ground, for making us proud. Thank you.
Yeah, Barrister Mbeseha, please.
Yeah, thank you once more. Thank you, Paddy, and thank you, Stallon, for being there. I mean, I don't need to say that you are brave because you're already there. And through you, would ask everybody who follows you back home on the front to be as brave as you are. Above all, again, we thank you for your intelligence. You are the brightest that we have. You are not the rock-tack soldiers that come from our people to Cameroon. And let the world know that any Ambazonian who steps up to do anything is the best in terms of education. You have shown by your actions on the war front that you can respect all the rules of the game. Thank you for doing that. I will remind us that those who think that Ambazonians are people you can kick around, deceive yourself. You are not the 1961 delegation of Ahijo that thought they could forget their promises made the next day. And who was Ahijo? Nothing compared to Ndele Foncha in terms of education. Absolutely nothing. These were criminals, post office workers brought to come and face Muna, to face Ndele, to face frontier, who by the standard of the time were more than university graduates. So thank you for your intellect. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for being out for the right thing. Over to you.
Yeah, Captain Stallon, I am coming to you now so that we can complete our conversation. Fellow Ambazonians, I want to use this opportunity to announce that we will definitely be starting a military briefing. It's a kind of restart like never before. This time around, the military briefing, you're going to have audio updates from fighters on the ground with Commander Willy and the others with real military briefing. That's going to be more like a news. We'll have a journalist that will definitely be coordinating them on that so that we can have sustainability. And it's not going to be just once. And you have people like Captain Stallon. Now, Captain Stallon, before you leave, you mentioned something about safety of the military, safety of the community. What is your understanding about the relationship? Can you hear me, Captain Stallon? Yeah, can you hear me? If you can hear me, just speak, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can get the person.
Good. I asked the situation which you already answered a question. You already did the relationship between the ASA and the community, and that was very good the way you answered. Now, what's your understanding of the rules that you're supposed to implement on the ground? I'm talking about the rules of war that is being taught to you by your hierarchy. You proved here by showing that you're an army that understand that hierarchy in the military is very important. So what is your understanding? Because there are laws that govern the war, every war. How do you people respect them? And how do you manage to win the love of the community in such a manner that they will trust you more than the Cameroon military? Just speak to us generally and a few things that you want to tell Cameroon, the Ambazonian people, the support you need from them and all of that. Just speak to us extensively, because at this moment I'll be letting you go so that we can continue the debate and save you some time.
All right, thank you very much, Comrade, for that question. You asked, what do I understand in the field? So, first and foremost, in the military, what embodies or what guides you in military? First and foremost, you take orders, you respect them. That's the first thing. Most of all, order and respect in military is the first thing. When you take orders from your hierarchy, you respect them, you will be safe or you'll be fine. Now, talking about how other issues as far as war is concerned. In a war, this what we are fighting, we have other bodies that put an eye on what is going on ground. For example, we have the human rights, we have the United Nations organization. Now, we take our time to study and to know what human rights not want from us and what they want from us. And in that light, we act in line with what we know that will not be tomorrow. But there are certain issues, because we cannot say everyone will be the same. Some of us, otherwise, are trying our best. We are trying our best to curb such behavior amongst us with the daily basis, the fighters on the ground on daily basis. Now, going back to the civilian population, how did we manage to get that that relation? Okay, is this. We take our time, we go to them, we invite them for public talk, we give them the education about the war, we give them the education about what they are fighting for, we give them the education how it came to be, how it happened since 1961 up to date, and what has been transpiring. We give them the education about all these things, and in the end, that's how you manage to be the mind for our civilians. One thing I'm glad about is that we don't with their mind on something bad, but we have minds of our civilians on the line of what I think for. Well, it's just we have taken it that on a monthly basis, try to meet with the community. We try to meet our people, and we give them that awareness. We tell them where we start from, tell them who we are, and we tell them where we are going to. In that light, you will see, you draw them.
That's great. You have mentioned many things, four very important things. Yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
All right.
Are you still saying something? Yeah, go ahead.
Tell the yes, I should like say something to the Ambazonian people. Talk about the support that have been given. There is a lot. If I start to talk, we talk from now before, but due to the security and the other issues, I will not have much to say than to say a very big thank you first to the president and his cabinet, for they have taken it to themselves that they will do their best to make sure all the AAs, all the foot soldiers on home front are well equipped. First and foremost, I give them a very big thank you. I am not leaving out my county officials, because anytime we cry to them, they always direct our cry to the right area where our crisis is. All right. Then also to the civilian population back home, they are doing a marvelous job, and I would like to thank them, because we have a slogan that we share with them. You see something, you say something, you say something. Any little thing they hear, they will tell us. Little thing they see, they will tell us. I would like to thank them very much for that aspect. Then back to the people in the diaspora, those who have taken to themselves that they will always chip in something to see that fighters on ground are in good health, are healthy enough, are well equipped. I simply say thank you very much. I pray that God always reach the sources where you people get that money from. It has actually gone a long way to save us in ground, and to save us in the war as we continue to fight. We have registered so many successes, and we always say that our successes are your successes, and together we shall forge ahead very well.
Wow. You said something which I want you to reiterate. You spoke about understanding hierarchy. Now, based on the structure we have, talk to the Ambazonian people specifically. What is the hierarchy that you have now from top to bottom? Because it's important that we explain these things so that maybe other counties and the world can hear the level of understanding and structure that we have in place. Go ahead.
All right. In terms of hierarchy, we start with our president, who is the commander in chief. Now, from him, in terms of hierarchy, Major General here in home front. In military, from our CIC, we go to him back here in home front. In terms of other aspects, we look from our president, other officials in the cabinet, then the structure, that's the county structure. You have your county chair, and other persons with whom he works together. Then after that, you go down to your LGS, where you have your coordinators. Some are here with us, in Humpon. Some, due to security reasons, are not with us here on the ground. From there, you go.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I believe that most of the things that Captain Stallon has been saying, the people of Ambazonia heard him. The hierarchy, he has a very high understanding of the laws that governs war, which I want to applaud the Bush Security Council and the Commander Willis, the ANC, the military wing, for taking out time, like you see the barristers saying all the time, training the fighters on the ground, on the need to prosecute this war legally. Very important, especially at this time. The legality of this war is very imperative. And this is a fighter on the ground. I'm bringing our captains right now. We are actually Commander Willy, Barrister Fru, Barrister Team. This is the man on the ground we are actually seeing commanding a lot of respect. This is Major General Tokandu, commanding a lot of respect, a lot of love from people. And this is what happens all across Ambazonia. The genuine Ambazonian fighters, the state army, are loved by the people, supported by the people, protected by the people, fed by the people. The Cameroon infiltrates some of the ranks, uses proxies like the ADF and so on and so forth to thwart public opinion, change narrative of the international community, and to make it seem like conductor was saying this morning, Anglophones killing Anglophones. That's their narrative. What do you have to do in this regard? I'll begin with you, Commander Willy. Before we get into the plan you have for this evening, Commander Willy, talk to us. This is really the first part where we'll handle something. Talk to us, Commander Willy. What do you say about all of this we've heard from Captain Stallon, the understanding of how to execute the war, the relationship between the Amazonian state army and the civilian community, the need and their understanding on what it takes to protect the civilians and to defend the homeland. Please,
Yes, from Party, they say all for one, one for all. All for one for all. As Cameroon army have entered our country and is killing our people have stand up and they are fighting to defend themselves and defend homeland. One will say, oh, some are illiterates, some are this, some are that. Yes, if our fighters are illiterate, it's a plus for us. Because an illiterate person can operate a gun without being taught. An illiterate person can identify an enemy without being taught. An illiterate person can kill an invading force without being taught. So now who is illiterate now? You see, when the English is not part of our culture is our dialects and pidgin English as such. So if you think that success or self-defense is by English, then you fail already. All this English that we speak is given to us by the Europeans. English is not my mother tongue. My first tongue is Bayangi and Ijaka. That's my first tongue. My second tongue is pidgin English. So when they come to fighting, you see those men on the ground. If you want to equilibrate their certificates or their intellectuals, it's more than those of 99% of Europeans and doctors. Those are doctors you see on the ground. Those are engineers you see on the ground. Those are lawyers you see on the ground. Those are university graduates. It does not mean even if they go to school or not, it does not mean Cameroon Army, Janama police should come in and be killing them because they're illiterate. That is why the world have gathered and gang itself. The intellectuals, the learned, are now killing the illiterates as a sole thing. The illiterates are not human. But let me tell you something, the illiterates will fight until heaven will come. When you see somebody stand up, our parents, some of them never went to school, but they delivered us. My mother never went to school, but she delivered me. Is she not more intellectual than a doctor who went to school for 7 years? A woman never went to no school, but she would deliver a baby and then raise the baby, and the baby become a president or become anything. Is that woman not intellectual, more educated than a doctor, than a pilot, than a PhD that people call intellectuals? So when you talk about intellectuals, with respect to what? My brother Captain, yes, spoke of safety first. Yes, safety first initiative It's Ambazonia first rule on the ground. All of them know that you have to be safe to secure your environment. If there's no safety, then there's no development. If there's no safety, then there's no structure. If there's no safety, then there's no development. You see all this crowd coming out. They are not coming out because they love talk and do. They are not coming out because they love you and me. They are coming out because they are fighting for their freedom. They are fighting for their freedom first, to maintain life, to be alive. These are all survivors. They are fighting for their freedom. And now, the presence of a Major General Tokandu, who's now walking down on the ground, we salute him for his bravery and for his sacrifice. Remember, he's guarding his parents. Those are his parents. Those are his brothers. And if your brothers stand beside you, your sisters stand beside you, nobody will touch you. Nobody will touch you. Cameroon Army can say what they want to say. Let them be saying. We are not fighting this war based on Cameroon Army agenda. Ambazonia government have her own agenda. President Sako have laid the framework on the ground on what we should do, how to process, what we should do before this October 1st happened. On September, we had a meeting with the LGA chair people and the county coordinators and President Samuel Sako, our president. He briefed us on what he wants to see on the ground. We share ideas and he guides us on what is supposed to be done on the ground. So these are some of the fruits you are seeing today. Over to you, sir.
This is so sweet. Considering what Stallon said, Barrister Fru. You know, the battalion we saw, those were hundreds of fighters manifesting there, different angles. But they had more than double that number that had mapped out the entire environment. They had placed traps, cognizant of the fact that Cameroon is planning to intercept, and they were ready for any ambush. They were ready. They had assured the people, this is so beautiful. There's nothing sweeter than this. Barrister Fru, please.
Yes, thank you, Paddy. My takeaway is that our soldiers on the ground, our ASA, is putting into practice the Geneva Convention as it concerns war. I tell you, Captain Stallon has just given us the practical part of the Geneva Convention. They respect the population, they protect the population, they work in collaboration with the population, they have meetings with the population, and they explain the reason for our fighting to the population, and the population on their part go with the slogan, you see something, you say something. You see something, you say something. And I tell you, the two phrases that Captain Stallon used, safety is number one. You see something and you say something is number two. So that's why the Bui County military wing of the ASA is very effective, because they have people like Captain Stallon on the ground. You have among these fighters that you see like this, these soldiers you see like this, they have all kinds of people. You have graduates, you have all kinds of professionals who have given up their lives to defend the homeland. And nobody can say anything that we don't know. Our people are determined. They are fighting for their lives, and they are well organized. And this is a takeaway. This program that Captain Stallon has presented to us is a program that should go all the way through all the branches of the Ambazonia State Army in the home front. And you will not imagine that all of them know the hierarchy. You heard him talk about the commander-in-chief. From the commander-in-chief down to their commanders, their generals, and the commanders, and the captains, and the colonels, and everybody. That is a chain of command. They know their chain of command. They are disciplined. They are not the type of soldiers that the type of bandits like you have that Yabacho has put in our midst. in the home front, to tantalize our people, to kill our people, to impoverish our people, to burn our people, to do everything that is negative. And we thank God for his arrest. That is it.
That's amazing. Barrister Mbeseha, please talk to us.
Well, I think from what our man on the ground says, they are up to the task. They know the game. I've said earlier, better than the people in Cameroun. They were educated in the act of war. They were educated in the act of living as human beings, having gone to study in different universities and different schools. And I'll give these two illustrations, two examples to illustrate their prowess that they should be relied on. Today, this is 63 years into this. In 1961, there was no army in the West Cameroon. But what they call the West Cameroon Police Force, supported by the military wing called the Mobile Wing. None of those guys in the Mobile Wing had gone beyond Standard 6. But they were skillful. I'm sure that even today, no general in the Republic of the Cameroon Army would have been able to defeat the Mobile Wing Police that was trained by the West Cameroon government. So you're up to the task. You can be a match to any other military. And the second example is fast forward. I'm very sure almost everyone of us here remembers something they call Côte d'Ivoire. Remember the crisis that took place there. And they were fighting there. They tried to do an arrangement like we call peace agreement. They came to disarmament. There was a clause, I took for instance, there was a clause in disarmament that the people they call rebels will be integrated into the national army with their ranks. We were trying to do that. The military said, no, we cannot just accept General Capo because he was nothing. He's not off to a general in our army. The talks broke down. 6 months or a year into that, what happened? The very people they call talks marched onto Abidjan and disarmed the professional army of Gbagbo that was trained in France. Their general, the commander general, who was like General Semenge, fled. He was the first man to escape to Ghana. And they were all disarmed. Their General Semenge became an ambassador to Gabon. Today, as we speak, the Ivorian army, which is actually in place right now, has generals, has every rank. That did not issue from the army training in France. It issued from the army of Nsoh, what they call the rebels. They took over the whole place, and they are today the national army of Côte d'Ivoire. So our guys are up to the game. Don't mind what they call you. You are professional enough. You are doing better than most armies of the Francophonie. And which is why I will just end it here. I think we have reminded them, if it gets bad, all your military combined with the one of France, you could not be able to defeat Ambazonia, what you call the ragtag army. Over to you.
Well, that's a great one. Commander Willy, I think I'm bringing the mic back to you. I understand that you have a program of today on some things you want to mention, and we had a chance to go through that. So I will just have the images without necessarily order. They'll just be going. But you want to explain some strategic things, not necessarily delivering your strategy, but you want to explain some things that the lawyers will comment much later. You take your time and explain them as extensively as possible. The Ambazonian military apparatus, the way it played out, the significance. I also understand that in Akwaya, our civilian population was ambushed. And there are still some images coming in even now, because all across the national territory, we had manifestations coordinated by the state army. So in this regard, please, Commander Willy, the mic is yours. Talk to us.
Yes, as I earlier said, before this March pass came, our President, Dr. Samuel Sarkozy, had a meeting with us, and he briefed us on what is expected on the ground. The first thing is safety of all Amazonian State Army, and for them to carry on a mask to cover their faces, so that way the enemy will not take advantage to go kill them later on after they must have marched on the ground. And then he gave us many information that I will just I'll give you the, in short, I cannot go deep into it, but I'll give you some of it. If you see our armies on the ground, they did not just march haphazardly. They were well organized, and as such, they were briefed on what to do and how to do it. As Captain earlier said about securing the perimeter of the environment where it's safe for them to march, because it was said each county and each LGA that find that it's safe. Any area you find is safe in an area, you can march. If it's not safe, then you can use the alternative, a plan B and plan C. That plan B and plan C remains to the fighters. So that's what was on the ground. And if you see, now we'll look into the military and the civilian situation. I'll go to the civilian situation first a little bit. If you look at it keenly, the civilians did not fight while they were celebrating on the ground. Nobody fought each other. That shows that we know ourselves. That shows that the enemy is not a people who is coming to destabilize us. Now, coming to the fighting unit, they march in sequence and in order based on their units. If you look at it, I will go in terms of battalion, in terms of squad, and in terms of their numbers. What you see there is not actually the numbers that you see. If you see 10 people marching, they are not just 10, they are more than that. If you see the first march past, it came with the Ambazonia presidential security units. They have third platoon. That's a third platoon. And you know that in a platoon, there are more than 10 people and above in a platoon. So that was a third platoon. So they came in numbers and they celebrated and they marched. Those pictures were all in social media and I've put in many of the forums, the way they were organized and how they marched. Then all of them, they're under Ambazonia State Army. Then you come to under Ambazonia State Army, you get the 2nd Battalion, 3rd Cavalry. You will see the picture themselves, what they do, and based on what they do, 99% of everything that every military does is self-defense, to defend and protect civilian life. So, but on the small things that do behind, I will not be able to explain it here on TV. But you know that their main goal is to defend and protect Ambazonia. Then item number 3, you have the 2nd Brigade, 4th Regiment. That's the mobile wing unit. And this mobile wing unit is headed by the mobile wing chief. We have mobile wing chiefs in there, they know themselves. And it's comprised of the infantry. We have the infantry in Ambazonia, that's the ground force. You have the scout, those who will go around and collect intelligence and come and feed it to the military, what is going on. They will scout the area as they are marching. People are there scouting the area. Those who are briefing us, they are briefing us on the phone and on the internet. They are doing what they could do for us to get information. That's why on October 1st, some of us, as well as ANS members, we didn't set some of them outside carelessly because we were supposed to be connected with the ground while things are happening. And the mobile wing, you have what we call artillery department. Those are the bomb squad. Those who go around and plant what IEDs and other stuff. We call it artillery at this moment because we're working towards getting helicopters, gunship. And you have the engineering department. That's the demolition team where they go ahead and make the enemy to bleed and to take care of the roads and infrastructures where we don't want the enemy to occupy our area. You have the paramedics on that area as well. And the paramedics, when somebody is wounded, we have doctors among them, we have nurses among them, who've trained how to use tourniquet in case you are bleeding, what to do. If you are shot on the arm, what to do. If you are shot on the leg, what to do. If you are shot any part of your body, what to do. As a microbiologist myself, if you have any infection, they can show me the picture. I can tell them what to use. If it's more than me, I have a team of doctors that I work with. I can send that information to the doctor forum, and they will look at it and prescribe medication. I will have a pharmacist that will dispense the medication on the ground to them. So that's why you see, even if you look at it at this time, you will not see our fighters being bleeded to death carelessly. So if they are wounded, that information comes to me. I don't sleep. That's why you see me 24/7. My phone is always busy. So now you get highway patrol units. As we're talking like this, we have scouts. They will feed the information to highway patrol unit. Before Cameroun army pass from one point to the next in Ambazonia, we have a highway patrol forum where we know that where they are coming, and then we'll relate it to the units, and then they will go down to our infantry units, and then they will dissipate that to the general, and information or whatever is supposed to be done, it will be taken. We have the immigration enforcement unit. That's the 1st Brigade. They are the immigration enforcement unit. They're on the ground as such. They are marching. They are among them. If you look at it, the way we organize it is there on the ground. You will see them. They are in their numbers. We have men and women who are marching. Don't forget, we march as a country. We are marching as a country. Although you see the pictures in segments, it's due to the fact that we could have converged in Boya, But due to the presence of Cameroon army in our area that are hindering us in certain areas, but with time, hopefully by the grace of God, not long from now, we'll be in Boya, and all these things will take place under one canopy. But we, based on assignment and duty that we're giving to the various units, they have put themselves together and now they are moving. Now we have Ambazonia State Army, the postmasters. You could see the postmasters on the ground. That's the 5th Company, 2nd Cavalry, headed by company commander. They were motorbikes. Those are grab and take. They reinforce our rules and regulations on the ground and make sure that Ambazonia is liberated from the enemy. And they have our sanitation department unit. That's the 2nd platoon, headed by platoon leader. Those sanitation unit, they are responsible to clean up the mess on the ground, because we have people who come to disrupt and do what they're supposed to do. So they clean up. Everything in the hospital, they have people that clean up the place. They call it housekeeping. So we have them sanitation unit. Last but not the least, Ambazonia State Army, we have the 2nd Police Unit, 2nd Squadron, 3rd Platoon. They are there on the ground, and you see them. They have dogs. They have various other animals to snoop the enemy wherever they hide. So as they are marching, Ambazonia is not just marching as Ambazonia, it's marching as a country under the leadership of Dr. Samuel Sarko Ikome. This could not have been possible without the help of the ANC, without the help of the strategy department, without the help of the other departments and communication departments, and those who have given us intelligence on the ground. We want to thank the civilian population, our mama and papa on the ground, who are giving us information, feeding us on what to do and where the enemy is going at what time. We want to thank them. And last but not the least, we want to let Cameroon government know that we are a country not to mess with. We are organized, we are structured, and as such, if we go to Boya today, this structure will be followed until a more strategic structure will be enhanced to govern us all. But at this time, the fighters on the ground, they know what to do. They're expected of what to do. If you look at it, the way they dress now is different. Look at their shoes. Look at their pants. Look at their t-shirt. Look at their guns. I would like to let you know that the Ambazonia government provided, yes, weapons to the fighters on the ground, but 99% of the weapons were seized from Cameroon army. We never had weapons before. Those weapons you see that those fighters are holding, they seized this from Cameroon army that invaded our land. Yes, they seized it from them. Those iron caps were seized from the Cameroon army. Many of those uniforms were seized from the Cameroon army. If you see what the government provided, you see like t-shirts. You see like t-shirts that the government provided like this, what you are seeing now. But 99% of the weapons were seized by Ambazonia State Army from the Cameroon army. Cameroon army, Janama police are the #1 supplier of weapons to Ambazonian State Army. So, Mr. Paddy, when it comes to this war, our people have stood up and will never go back. We say, shake no day. I mean, Papa, them, I will talk for pigeon for una. We thank una for this work, we work for ground. The various unit them, they will make their picture in the center for we. Someone they make video with it and say less than 2 minutes at least, so that we know carry heavy space. But some of them, because they be too much excited, so when the video exceeds 6 minutes, when they send up we, it is heavy for come through. And as they go, more video they will come. Although the enemy if try to slow the internet, no sense of super slow because we get satellite phones. We get satellite phones with those with satellites. They get automatic sender for us. That's why when I get many pictures, and when many they will come, they will ambush some enablers and they will tell army say this occasion they happen for acquire. But as such, they will go for go. The time for the ASA for acquire, they will intercept the army, so it will reduce the damage. We Cameroon army begin for damage our people. Because the intention where it be for partner say they want to capture Ambazonia State Army them and then put them for gunpoint, say make the surrender, then they show up for the world. So they don't capture we on our Independence Day. But we get intelligence, and as such, you see, as a perimeter will be secured, as just as Captain explained to you, we'll tell you everything. So moving forward, we will take measures then for enhance our country. And I think that will tell you this. So starting on the 20th of this month, the pack for Bamenda, it will move to Matazem. The pack for Motengene and Boya, it will move to Mundoni. The reason I say Cameroon Army and Janama Police, they are bringing a lot of armies inside those 70-seater buses. They are bringing them. When they pass from Bafusa, Kutaba, they carry armies in those buses. They will dress in color clothes. They will bring their guns and their bags. They put them inside those luggages. Then they pass inside Bamenda town. Within 5 minutes, the army would dress now the army uniform, carry their guns, invade our villages. That's why you see they can do Kale within a short period of time, and then our people be like, where did they come from? They came through those buses undercover. I had a situation where one of our own called me and said, Pa, I was in the bus, I was crying that, oh, we're going to kill our own people. I said, oh, Pa, He said, why didn't you guys stop the buses? I said, we'll pass an order for the buses not to be entering our area. But they see that people did not get the idea behind it. So moving forward, from the 20th of this month, the park in Bamenda will be relocated to Matazem. That way, it will help our people, our taxi people, our motorcycle people, our Clando people to get money. Because they'll be able to carry passengers from Bamenda and then go to Matazem, go drop them. Because we are two Cameroons, don't forget. British Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, and French Cameroon, La République. So any bus that we're going to see inside, inside Bamenda, the bus will be targeted. Likewise, if you want to see any bus too in Savannah zone or any of the zone in Ambazonia, so no bus, even from 12-seater bus, every bus will be a Matazem Park. Every bus will be a Mundoni. You can carry a passenger from Bamenda, from Matazem, and go to wherever you want to go. Yaoundé, La République, you can go there. But once you come back, they drop you there at that Matazem Park. You take taxi, or Clando, or motorcycle, and come back. And last but not the least, in Bamenda, all the La République administrators, they have settled in Bamenda. They are well confined and comfortable in the core of the egg, the yolk of the egg. They have seated there. So that way, we have to make the mayors, make those colonial authorities that because they have a big camp and all the army camps over there. These people have programmers. They have programmers. Look at it. All our towns and cities, they have made their military bases over there. So we're going to move those parks. Those parks will be removed and sent to Matazem, so that way they cannot be comfortable. They cannot be comfortable inside that core of Bamenda. They cannot be comfortable inside the core of Boya and Mutengene. So that they go to before they want to leave. Let's see how a mayor will be able to take a taxi. That will be able to identify a mayor and a colonial official when he take a taxi from Bamenda Park to Matazem. We can identify him and catch him on the way and take care of him. It will be easy for us. But if we don't reinforce it, therefore he will just be inside there, get a movement or whatever bus he want to get. The buses are too big. He will just sit there and cover himself undercover and then pass and go to Bafusam, go to Yaoundé, attend meetings, come back again and kill us. And number two, those buses are not paying taxes to us because Ambazonia is a free tax zone. Our president said people are already paying taxes with their life. So nobody should pay tax. So there's no tax in Ambazonia. So they are paying their taxes to the Republic. They don't belong to us. Number three, those buses are agencies. Buses are owned by La République people. Most Ambazonia, they have taxis and motorcycle and bicycle. So for us reinforcing this law, it will help also that our people can get their money. If a brother or a sister carries somebody their motorbike from Bamenda to Matazem, it can cost maybe 20 francs or 200 francs, I don't know the currency. That way he can get money. But if you let the buses come and carry them and go, 70 times 10, you are looking at 700,000. That the 170-seater bus will come and carry somebody in Bamenda and go to Bafusam. Therefore, 700,000 is gone. And then they have increased bus prices in La République. They will be paying taxes to La République. They will buy weapons to kill us. So that's why I would say those buses, it should not come to our area again. For any bus, it will only be, inside Ambazonia, it will only be Clando, taxi, or motorcycle of any color. You can drive and go anywhere. That way, it gives our people the ability for them to circulate money within themselves. It will give us to know who is entering our country, who is leaving our country. If we leave buses in our country, it means that allow Cameroon government to come to our area, come right inside our room and take a nap. Because they are bringing army and Janama police. What they do, they go to Kutaba or to Bafusam. They open the under those buses. There are very big spaces. Those carriages, they open it. The military people will put the military attire, military everything, and then they carry like 70 of them and bring them in. Last time, when they did Kale, they brought 3 buses, 3 Amumes and buses. There are 70-seater buses. That's 70 times 3. You are looking on 2,100. That's 210. For 210 army, they can circle the village within 5 minutes. So, but if we say those buses should not come again, now they will be forced to carry the army in their military cars. That way we can identify them and attack them. The buses are mimicking operation. They are exploiting our operation. Meanwhile, Cameroon army is sneaking underneath, using their undercover to come kill us. So buses will not be able to travel in Ambazonia again. Whether you are 12-seater, carry to La République. We are in a tough time at this moment. We have to make the tough decision to move the country forward. Last but not the least, the lockdowns have come and gone. The lockdown have come and gone. We all have seen the benefit of the lockdown. It affected Cameroon government economy. Even in Douala, they complain that they don't have passengers and all those things. We cannot roll back again. If we roll back, Cameroon government will go with the light, things are coming back to normal. We are not fighting for normalcy. We are fighting for our independence. So we're going to be moving them to the border. We will deal with them as neighbors. That's why we don't want them to leave their parks inside our territory. That's why we're moving the parks to the boundary. So if you're coming to operate inside Ambazonia, you meet a different face. Over to you, sir.
And this idea of shifting or taking the parks away from center town, that is what Abe did in Bamenda at one time. I remember that was just about the time I was trying to go to the university. You have to get out of Bamenda town very early and take a bus up station, a taxi up station where you pick up a bus. It was later on that it started coming down. So for military strategies to make sure that the civilian population has a very brilliant suggestion or what a decision that the military wing is making, because Cameroon is now using the bus as a way, as a means of bringing in the forces of occupation as undercovers or civilians with civilian outfits. I think it's a good strategy. The barristers will be commenting on that. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we have the phone lines are open. You may wish to call in and make a contribution, and this is bringing us to a very important part of the conversation that the barristers will be speaking a little bit more. Let us talk about this victory parade and the message that it communicates to the international community. There's a lot of media polarization with Cameroon. In 2003, John Gute, that was Minister of Foreign Affairs or something, went to Banjul and said they don't know which leader to talk to. And Cameroon is recycling the same strategy today. They're claiming they don't know which leader, all their proxies, conduct titles, all of them are saying the exact same thing. It's a strategy. They come and infiltrate us, and they tell us they don't know who to talk to. They don't know who is leading on the ground. The ADF was being instrumentalized by them to distract our people, oppress the communities, and do things that were not inappropriate so as to sabotage the movement. With the absence of the ADF, there was no Chris Anu, there was no Marianta. In fact, these people did not even talk about the 1st October, even in the diaspora. Is the international community or stakeholders are they still telling us that they don't know who owns the land? Is the voice of the people, who the leadership and what the leadership really is? This is where I want you, the lawyers, to talk as elaborate as possible. Barrister Fru, Barrister Mbeseha, talk to us.
Yes, Paddy. Yes, Paddy. The international community is not fooled. This 1st October has passed a message that the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia is in total control of the state of Ambazonia, and that those people, those so-called leaders that were working for La République du Cameroun, have lined up with La République du Cameroun to disregard anything called 1st of October. That is why you didn't hear from Chris Anu, you didn't hear from Marianta, you didn't hear from Bo Herbert, you didn't hear from I don't know who. There are many of them. Ayaba is sitting in jail. His remnants are running around. I don't know where they are, where they are running to now. You will not hear from. You didn't hear anything about them because they have decided to line up behind La République du Cameroun to ignore the 1st of October celebrations. These 1st of October celebrations are organized and controlled and made possible by the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia and its army, the Ambazonia State Army. That message has gone to the world. The world understands. And I'm not saying that they didn't understand before now. Now they do understand that we have a government. So La République can no longer claim, oh, we will talk to whom? They have splinter groups. They have this. We don't know who to talk to. You have always known that there is the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. You captured the first leaders. You captured the first leader, Ayuk Tabe and others. And they are sitting in your dungeon for life jail. But the government reconstituted. The government now is a full government. It's no longer an interim government, but it's a government that you killed under Augustine Ngomjoa that we have resuscitated. And that government is in charge. You want to talk to us. Talk to us. If you don't talk to us, then you don't know what you are doing. The International Committee already knows that we exist. We are a government in exile because of you. Because you want to arrest and kill all of us. So for us to stay alive and manage the situation on the ground, we have to live in exile. But that government in exile is very effective on the ground, as you can see from the celebrations of 1st of October. La République du Cameroun, you have reached the end of the road. Come to the table. Let's finish this matter. If you don't come to the table, that's your take. We will get you out of our territory by all means possible. Thank you very much. Paddy, are you there?
Mr. Mbeseha, the mic is yours. That's why I have you two on the screen.
Okay.
This message, the idea is for you people to what the significance of this message of the victory parade that took place during our Independence Day. This one was quite important, quite special. Chris Ano and his unity ground avoided talking about it at all. They didn't plan for it. They didn't prepare for it. Chris Ano has denied the anthem, has denied the flag, announced himself president, and later on denied it, and he became a comrade. Now, as we speak, he despised strategically, was performing more like a proxy militia of La République du Cameroun, and we have seen this. So I want you people to talk. In the absence of all those that are being instrumentalized, used by French Cameroon to infiltrate our genuine cause, we still put through an exceptional Independence Day celebration, home and abroad. What does this really mean to us as Ambazonians and to the international community?
Well, thank you, Paddy. October 1st parade, as you call it, was hugely successful. But I don't want to take off from there. We have to go back a bit. The October parade, which we are trying to discuss now, was a accumulation of a series of events. Many things went into play, accumulating on the 1st of October, which would answer all the questions that you are trying to raise there. First, remember there was a lockdown. 2 weeks. It was in September. But lockdown did not start in September. Lockdowns have started way back 2016, when Tassan said, come Monday, you will know who owns Ambazonia. That was the greatest sign of civil disobedience. 1st October did not just come. 1st October came after 22nd September. What was 22nd September? The day Ambazonians went out massively with branches to ask for their rights. And what happened? They were shot and killed. And I've had the opportunity to say it before. 22nd September was a day in history when the Republic turned peaceful demonstrators, millions of peaceful demonstrators, into battalions of military armed fighters. And so finally came October 1st, and we saw what happened. They asked the question whether the international community is aware of it. Of course they are aware of it. Not just because women will demonstrate. 1st October is a documented date in the annals of history not of Ambazonia, but history of the world. It is in the United Nations records. That people can steal oil from Sonora and burn it down. They can steal money from the Ministry of Finance and set it ablaze. But there's no way that they are going to set ablaze the records of the United Nations. No way. They are there. That resolution is there in all the 5, 6 languages of the United Nations: French, English, Chinese, Russian, and Arabic. And so you ask yourself, these poor guys, our boys celebrating in hiding, how did 1st October become a date to be celebrated in hiding? How did a date approved by the United Nations, by the whole world at the time, documented in writing, became so illegal that you have to face fire if you celebrate it? Just celebrate it. If you came out to say, oh, this is a good day for me, I want to drink a beer, you're killed. How do we get here? How do we get here is a question that nobody can answer except the people to come on. And so, should there be proxies? Of course, there must always be proxies. Proxies will not deter us. Just as one of us, which I like to quote, remember, UN always says, don't let your enemy define you for who you are. Define yourself. Proxies do not start with Ambazonia. In South Africa, we have Buthelezi. In South Africa, we have Chief Buthelezi. His support for the apartheid regime did not deter or influence the ANC for riding it to the end. So where it is Christiano, where it is Mefo, where it is Cho Ayaba, that should not deter us. We remain focused. And again, where are we here? I'm sure you have seen all these things. They have been laid bare publicly. And if you permit me, I will tell them this message, at least in the best way I can in their own language. Vous êtes cordialement invités à la prochaine célébration du 1er octobre 2000. You're all invited to come. You'll be welcome as good neighbors. You'll be welcome as good guests. And so we're up to the top. The world is not sleeping. We are not sleeping. We have challenged it. And to crown it up, say it was a accumulation of events. This week culminated on Friday with the press conference given by the president, which laid to rest all the come back and forth that they have argued in Yaoundé and beyond, even in France. The president asked a simple question. Where is the government that was set up, that was in Fumban in 1961? Where is that government? The president asked the question. You don't know who to negotiate with. No? You don't negotiate with everybody. You negotiate with the people who are fighting you. So if you go out talking to something you call ANC or anything, CNC, whatever nonsense is there, you are wasting your time because that will not end the war. And so I think this is a accumulation of things that people don't understand. They have refused to understand. The president, again, has a final word in that thing. He said, because we have had this talk every day since 2016 from Lake Cardinal to me, Anglophone conference, Anglophone conference. Yes, the president in that press conference answered that question and put an end to it. It's not everybody who speaks English. Like you mentioned, it's like Chiroma. You mentioned Achanganji, who will sit on the conference table to discuss the end of this conflict. I think that is strategic enough. That's academically rich enough for anybody, even the blind man, to understand. Even the late Ahijo, with his technology running a radio in the post office, can understand that. The president, to crown it all again, redefine this struggle. It is not a language problem. Anglophone, Francophone. No, it's an institutional problem, which institution, she said, must be restored. For whatever thing we want to do, he said, we will sit on the negotiation table as two parties equal in status. I think that lays to rest all the speculations of what everything they're doing. Proxies have a short life to live. If Cho Ayaba, for example, thought he was invincible, time is catching up with him. If the CDN thought they were invincible, they have been cleaned off. If the so-called the Canadian process, which can count back to about 5 conferences held in Canada, thought they were going to succeed, they will fail. The last official one that held was in October a year ago, which gave birth to something they call the Secretariat, which was supposed to do all things in the world to end the war. As of today, the Secretariat, from the day that it was stillborn in Canada, October last year, a year ago, we have not heard about it. And so, as the battle lines are drawn, the issues are settled and properly defined. Again?
So but Mbeseha, what you're trying to say there is that Cameroon is just rotating to get to achieve one thing, creating secretariat, a mixed multitude of Anglophones. They are now the ones telling all Anglophone, and you have their proxies insisting with this fraud that we must have Anglophones must start talking to themselves. I don't know what makes them feel that the problem of Anglophones is about talking to themselves. You know, it's really so. It's just a turnaround. Do you want to react to that, Barrister Fru?
No, let me just land.
Yes.
My problem going that way. Let me excuse me about so my problem going that way is this. That would tempt me, a big temptation, to go talking about something with somebody who calls himself Paddy Asanga. It's a serious temptation to any intellectual in this debate to mention a name, Paddy Asanga. But we all know Paddy Asanga is speaking the language of the oppressor. The oppressor will recruit anybody. That's why they even go and recruit the Mururus and give them cutlasses to go and kill their neighbors in desperate attempt to think that they can capture attention. And so, again, as I've simply said, all those people, whatever thing they are doing, I didn't want to mention the Cho Ayaba, but even talk less of Paddy Asanga. These are criminals recruited to help the oppressor in any form or shape, either in talking or in killing you or in doing something to you to surrender to them. We say, after I said, they're all proxies. They don't deter us because they don't have to define our struggle for us. They will not be at the conference table for a discussion. The bishops, the popes, the pastors, they are simply proxies. Over to you.
Wow, that's amazing. I want to remind our who are watching us that the phone lines, for those you may want to have an opportunity to chip in your own idea as per what happened during the 1st October. We're getting intense into a discussion. We're going to look into the different activities that took place, the full function of government. But before that, I want you to react to what Barrister Mbeseha was saying, Barrister Fru, so that we can get to Commander Willy to ask some specific questions, and then we move to that last phase of examining everything that took place and how the government was engaged to fully represent itself. Barrister Fru, please.
For the last 8 years, the government of La République of Cameroon has been turning around. I have been listening and watching some of their networks in Yaoundé and Douala. There's a network they call Info TV. They had a debate sometimes about La Crise Anglophone. And they kept talking and kept talking and kept talking and kept talking. And one of them, I remember his name, Nyemek. They call him a consultant. He asked a question. Why do you Francophones think that you can always talk or you talk for Anglophones? Why do you go dancing up and down and talking to yourself, talking in the place of Anglophones? What is so wrong in dialoguing with the people who are fighting? And I was so surprised to hear this Basa man chastise them. Say, please, talk about yourself. Talk about what you intend, how you intend to resolve this issue. La République de Cameroon has lost all thinking. They don't know what else to do. Some of them claim that we have done everything that is humanly possible. We went to Canada. We went and they carefully ignored the Swiss talks. They talked about Canada. They talked about the Grand National Dialogue. They talk about this. The man asked them, you organize your monologue and talk to yourself. Who among the separatists, that's the word he used, did you invite to that your dialogue? Or you call it a dialogue? A dialogue must take at least two people. You were talking to yourself. The people you are fighting were not there. So La République has been trying to dodge this issue for so long. And the reason is they don't know what to say or do because they violated the agreement that Ahidjo took with the United Nations. They violated at resolution 1608. They did not want to respect it. They did not vote for it, and so they decided not to respect it. And in the course of that, they invaded the territory of the Southern Cameroon with no legal backing. So they have no case. Instead of coming to the table and say, okay, all right, we know what happened. We have done this. Let's see how we can solve this problem and bring peace. No. They have been going round and round, like Mbeseha said, they go round and round organizing Cho Ayaba. They organized from Cho Ayaba, they went to Chris Hanu, and so they started with Seseko. That Seseko, they took Seseko to the cathedral, they took him all over the place and said they want to negotiate. They corrupted Seseko, and Seseko became something else. Then they left from there, they armed Ayabacho and his bandits, along with Atanganji. Atanganji created his own boys, they armed them, and nothing has come out of it. And finally, the Ayabacho has collapsed, the whole thing has collapsed, and they still don't know what to do. Like one of them who happens to be a man from Widikum, that he is a senator in Yaoundé, said, oh, the government has done everything and we don't know else what to do to solve this problem. This is unheard of in the world. And what is so striking is that the whole world is watching and nothing is going on. They think that La République has an opportunity to slaughter us, to reduce us to dust and take over our territory. No, it has not worked. So what is left? Let them come to the table. They will come to the table and meet the government of the Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia, led by His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ekomesako. They have no other choice. They can dance, they can come down, they can go up, they can do anything that they want to do, but it's not working, Paddy. It is not working. That is where we have them.
Talking about the table, Cameroon is avoiding that by every available or possible means they have. And they keep on insisting we're Anglophones, and that question has been answered. We cannot belabor the point. I want to get to Commander Willy on something. I'm sorry about that. Commander Willy, you just mentioned for strategic reason to save lives from the brutal occupation and invasion and the criminal efforts by Cameroon to rally our people, that the bosses in Bamenda would have to move to Matazé, which is a great military idea. How are you going to enforce that? Are you going to send official communication to the the boss agencies, telling them to relocate, like Abend at one time did in Bamenda. And when some of them resisted, they were dictated upon to move to. How do we hope to have this executed? All the different changes that you've mentioned are going to take place on the ground. How are we going to do that? Are we going to have a dialogue with these people to see to understand the need and to have this move? How are we going to do that?
Yes, Comrade Paddy, every order that comes to the ground is not coming from Willy. These are not my orders. President Samuel
Okay.
Sakwe, our president, he said the Francophones should leave our territory. He signed an executive order. If I'm not wrong, you must have read the executive order. President Sarko declared that his executive order, he said it in his executive order that French Cameroon authorities and administrators should leave our territory. Not long ago, he signed that order. I'm just here to reinforce it. And I reinforce it in segments so that way our people can digest it, understand it, and use it. Before I go to that, don't forget that the solution of Ambazonia is in the hands of Ambazonians. The solution of Ambazonia is not in the hands of French Cameroon. If a thief comes to your house, it's not the police that confront the thief first. It's you that confront the thief first. You have to fight the thief, kill the thief if you can. If you cannot kill the thief, then you call for backup. So Ambazonia is fighting the thief, the French Cameroon, at the same time calling for backup from United Nations. I'm not President Paul Biya, the commander-in-chief or chief in La Republique. He once said, history will never forget that Boya was the capital of West Cameroon. History will never forget. Paul Biya said that in Boya. That statement means what? So history will never forget that Boya was the capital of West Cameroon. It means he swallowed West Cameroon already. Now, number two, he said in France that we try to assimilate them, but based on their culture and their background, we cannot assimilate them. So we are still inside his stomach, bubbling like a ball. Now, coming to reinforce any order on the ground, it's very simple. Our president have said it. A captain came here. Our captain came here, and he made you know that there's a chain of command. How instructions are being given from the top to the ground. They need just directives and directions and guidance. President Sarko have given us the guidance and the directives. Now we just have to. We are the reinforcement unit. We have to reinforce it. I've not any order on the ground is not coming from me, not my department. It's coming from the president. He said we should move the enemy. But if you forget, unless you forget, I said last time that they will get some pitch or some shake on the ground. So this is part of the shake on the ground. When they carry their army, they put them in those buses and bring them inside our area. Our people will see them and wave them. Hey, they feel that they are civilians, but these are military people. These are military people. The evidences are there. And again, for economic reason, you cannot be. I cannot come to your house and open a restaurant, make the profit, and take it to my own country, and leave your own kids hungry. And then before I leave, I kill your own kids. That's what La Republique is doing us. We are not Anglophones. We are Ambazonians. There's no country called Anglophone. No country, but there's a country called Ambazonia. So if you come, you say there's Ambazonia, there's a Anglophone, or English people, or South or Northwest. You are just merely speaking. I call it a foolishness. Excuse my language. Anybody that addresses a wind vein, or Northwest, Southwest, Anglophone, this no. Nobody have called a Frenchman a Francophone. We call them like people Cameroon. We recognize their country. We recognize their boundary and their sovereignty. What they call a stream country, a stream nation. But for we are Ambazonia from the Amba Bay. Now, coming to all these solutions on the ground, if you look yourself, you see people dancing on the ground. Those are reinforcement units. Those are brigades. Those are brigade commanders. Those are immigration officers. And those are our local population and our brothers and sisters and mama and papa who are on the ground. We cannot leave Cameroon army surprise us. They mimic and surprise us and enter our territory and do what they want to do and they go. That time have passed. For them going to matter them is not a crime. It's just that you cannot let the enemy be sleeping inside your bedroom and then you are in the living room. At any time he can swallow you and take off. What happened in Mamenda? You see the mayors and the GOs moving freely, doing what they want to do, telling the people that you must eat this time, you must not move this time, you must shoot this time, you might not shoot this time. That's not how it's supposed to be done. Every country in this world fought for their liberation. We've already moved Cameroon army. We've packaged them. The next is just to kick them out. Why I say this, if you look at it before in the buses, gendarme police army, they used to enter the bus in the front, they just put their hand on the window. But now if you look at it now, most of them, they put their uniforms inside plastic bags. Why they go work? And most of them have sent their family to the area, and they stay in the camps, but they cannot patrol in our street with their uniforms unless they are in a jeep or 5, 10, 15, or 20 heavy arm. But those who are still patrolling our streets, they might be on civil. And now, when they're on civil in our street, they act as spies. Because a military man, whether our uniform or non-uniform, is still a military person. But our innocent brothers and sisters marching here, these are they call them Ambazonia State Army. Remember, these are just normal civilians. These are normal civilians that say, no, I cannot sit and be killed, so I have to fight. So that's why the government tried that, which they should be in uniforms. Don't forget, everybody fighting on the ground is the state army now. Everybody fighting on the ground is the state army. Ambazonia is a sovereign country for itself. It's a state, and so we have her own army. Her own army is marching, her own army is protecting her people, and her own army is giving security. When you come to reinforce, I'm not going to begin to tell Amumes and that, come, let's sit and discuss to see whether you're going to leave or you're not going to leave. A date have been given, that the 20th of this month. We've dragged the rope too much. Before we say no 70-seater, someone is still Menda and Mimi can come in. But a date have been given. They are watching us, they know. When they do Kali, they don't tell us. But I don't have no negotiation, I'm not a negotiator. But it's true, they are negotiators. I'm not a negotiator, I'm a fighter. A fighter tell you when to move and how to move. A fighter does not come and tell you, say, can we move? How can you, a thief come to you and tell a thief, let's go to the delivery man and tell me what you want to take from my house? No. If it's a house, you have to shoot the person who is in your house, then they will leave. Other you leave, you don't leave, I shoot you. As simple as ABC.
Willy, is that based on the fact that we are a people of law and you are respecting hierarchy and law, the straightforward question I'm asking, are you going to make direct communication to them, either via calling the agencies and officially serving them with the order for them to relocate? Are we planning to do anything like that?
President Sako has been executing order. That order has been dished to all those agencies. They have them. I'm not going to give no order to nobody. The order is audio, verbal. You can give order. I'm working in the medical field. You can take verbal order, written order, or prescribed order. It's an order. If I say move, it's an order. If I say I write it as show you, it's an order. I thought you said our people are illiterate. I thought you said our people are illiterate who are fighting. So illiterate don't have order. They tell you to move. That's our order. You go to move. We'll tell you for pigeon. Come on. You know, come on, you die. Simple.
That is a good answer.
Yeah.
That is a good answer.
Barrister Mbeseha, please. You want to react to that? We can move on to something else.
I think, unfortunately, you are trying to push Willy too far. The order has been given. You are trying to give the impression that they are not following.
No, I'm doing that strategically and intentionally, so that we have our discussion.
You wanted my input. Now let me give my input. They are following us day and night. If you saw this long thing from this long document produced by country people, you produced when we discuss here. So they are right here with us. The order has been sent, has been given, if it is not written. They have heard us discussing here. It's in their own safety to do what that order says.
It's right.
It's even in their own interest that will allow them to come and ferry their passengers from Metasm to go. So that is the order. I think Willy is perfectly right. In Yaoundé is ruled by what do you call that thing from Yaoundé, from the presidency? Superior orders. We don't see the president, they give orders and they are simply obeyed. And so these are orders emanating from the government, going down the chain. We cannot question the orders. If they care, if they think it's not an order, then take the steps to prove that it's not an order. As simple as that. But there will no bus without passengers. If all our passengers in Bamenda, for example, go to Metasm, you standing downtown, you're wasting your time because you have to go up there to go load them.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Okay.
And I want to add that it is a very good military strategy. And the military knows what they are going to do to get them out of town. Bamenda, for example, has suffered a lot of casualties from La République du Cameroun. They come to Bamenda not like before where they load them in their trucks and bring them. They come now through 10-seaters they mingle with passengers and get to Bamenda. Not anymore.
Yeah.
If this action is enforced, they will now have to end at Matazen and find a way to get to Bamenda. And if they enter their military vehicles, our military will know how to get them. The same thing for Boya and Victoria. All vehicles going to La République du Cameroun, you have to load in Mondoni, meaning that the traffic now between Victoria, Boya, and Mondoni is going to be intense for little cars like taxis, motorcycles, and whatever. But the buses, the bus leaves Douala, you end at Mondoni and carry people to Douala, Bafoussam, Yaoundé, wherever. It's a very, very, very well planned military strategy.
Now, this is all about showing
to protect our people. To protect our people.
There are two sides to this. Shows who is in control, which is very important in war propaganda. Number two, to preserve the lives of our people by these intruders. We need to secure the land. So we have an argument right there. But I want to play the devil's advocate. Peradventure, some of these agencies choose to rebel this order, which I'm suspecting some may want to. And Cameroon will want to protect them because they are claiming we are not in control. They are in control. This is a pending critical problem that will mean weapons getting involved. And this cannot be likened to taxes being burned. We're simply just asking people relocate for strategic reasons. It's not an insensitive thing where we're asking people change colors from white to green, red, yellow, whatever shenanigans. And I want to get first of all to the lawyers because I know Willy is definitely going to speak. Let's look at it from a legal standpoint. We are coordinating the war and ensuring that civilian and minimizing civilian casualties as much as possible. Also making sure that we are not engaged in crimes or what can constitute crimes against humanity and war crimes. So Barrister Mbeseha, Barrister Fru, I'd like the both of you to look at the technicalities involved. Peradventure, there is rebellion coming in and being supported by Cameroon. I begin with you, Barrister Mbeseha.
I don't know what rebellion it would imply. See, changing of parks is not new to us. If you know Boya Town Park was right up there, right up in station. It is today in 17. If you know Kumba Park was right in Bisik, in the middle of town. It's right now in Boya Road. Another one in Mefo Road. It doesn't hurt them anyway. It instead helps them. If the transport fare from, for example, from Boya to Douala now is 1,500 francs. And you go to take in Mondona, you still pay 1,500 francs. What do they lose? It's just like they trying to hide our history by saying there was no October 1st. It is for their own security. They have been coming in this crossfire all the time. We don't target civilian bosses. We don't target anybody. But if they think that is safer, if they don't see this as a strategy to help them even, I don't see how rational they are about going to do. As I said earlier, there will be no bus to carry people if they are not passengers. If a vehicle going to Douala, for example, in Kuma, came and stood at the Bisik Junction or go and stand up in Boya Town, you'll find no passenger there. You have to drive down to Ma 17 to look for the passenger. You have to go over to Boya Road to get a passenger. So it doesn't hurt them. About what Barrister Nsoh says, they should even be thanking us for trying to help them. Why they thank us for trying to help them? It goes to show that we are also in control. We're in control of our own territory. I think that's all about that. Over to you.
May I also say, Paddy, it's gone off.
At least listening.
Yeah. No, please go ahead.
Paddy, Paddy.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look. The enforcement will start. I'm not a military man, but I know that if you disable 1, 2, 3 buses, and the owners who have invested will think twice before they disobey the order. We start by disabling the businesses, all those bosses. We can disable them if we want to. We are at war. You should know that the southern Cameroon's Ambazonia is totally at war and is all in a state of emergency. If we tell you move your bosses to Matazem and create a park in Matazem for you to move there, and you try to fight, we will not attack you in person, but we will attack your property. That boss will disable it, and you will be forced to move. I'm just talking now like a civilian. When you disable somebody's business, you have crippled him because he has disobeyed an order. He will bear the consequences. Everybody listening to us should know that the 20th of this month of October, all buses, all the 18-seaters or whatever you call them, you move to Matazem, you move to Mondoni. I don't know about Kumba and Mante, Willy. How are you going to manage that? It's a different story. But that date is important. It's important because we can disable your business, and your stubbornness will make you spend more money repairing that vehicle. You lose money. But our people should understand that you want to take a bus to go to Douala as they are still doing, or to go to Yaoundé, go to Matazem or Bafoussam, go to Matazem. We don't have any connection with Yaoundé, Douala, Matazem. But if you do, go to Matazem and take a bus to Yaoundé or to Douala or to Bafoussam. Go to Mondoni to take your bus to Douala, Yaoundé, Bafoussam, wherever.
And this does not
we will not get the rank of the national. We would have not violated any international law if we enforce it by not taking lives. We will not take lives, but we will disable those bosses. Let them go and bring all the army. Let them go and bring all the La Republic army to come and protect them.
Yes, Commander Willy, you have to conclude on this particular aspect so that we can move into the last part of our conversation here this evening. And what I'd like you to conclude on very specifically should be the different relocation and the proposed places that you're giving to them. Talk to us in the Boya, to Mamfe, to Bamenda. Let's get the details from you. I'm not sure if there's anyone
right to
Okay, Dr. Paddy, thanks for that. Let me give you a clarification. It's not. I'm not fighting a war with a book in my hand. Number one, I'm not fighting a book with any law in my hand. I'm fighting a book based on reality on the ground, on what is going on to secure and protect our people. We are fighting for independence. Don't forget, to relocate somebody is not an evil thing. It's to keep them safe. As a parent, if you find that there's a fire in one room, you have the right to move people to another room. Where I work, I'm a fire warden myself, where I work. If there's fire in our department, I can relocate people from point A to point B based on the authority given to me because I've been trained as a fire warden. So now on the ground, when we say move from point A to point B, we are not saying that you should go and die. We just tell you that this area is not safe for you for many, many reasons. Mbeseha Airport was relocated or disappeared to Yaoundé. Tiko Airport was disappeared. Bafut Airport was disappeared. You know very well, people like Barrister Fru, they know more than I do. Many things have been disappeared to Yaoundé. They relocated, when I was small, they call it PWD. They call it where my father to go sell cocoa. PWD, all other things. Barrister, you people can help me with this. They relocated many things to Yaoundé. They see that it was not safe in our own area, so they have to steal it and send it to their own area. So we are coming to relocate the buses. We are not relocating the buses because we hate them. But we are at the time of war. At the time of war, you have to take the enemy out of the environment so that you cannot coordinate, and as such, protect and prevent your people. President Sarkozy said we should prevent life and property, so we're going to prevent it. He said we should enhance our economy and mess the Republic economy, so we're going to do exactly that. Buses from Bamenda will be moving to Matazan. No 12-seater bus will be able to ply that highway again from Bamenda to Matazan. No 12-seater bus will be able to. Remember, we will not call them park anymore. We'll call them Ambazonia Transit Authorization Stations. They used to call them park. A park is a place where people go and play for leisure. Ambazonia do not maintain the name park. We call it Ambazonia Transit Authorization Stations, where they transit people from point A to point B. So we are controlling and managing transit authorization stations. So that area in Bamenda, if you are operating in a park, it means that you are still following the colonial master paragraph or paradigm, or how you guys call it in English. You are still following their agenda. Now, for cars to move inside Ambazonia, vehicles can move inside Ambazonia freely, go from Mape to Kumbaka, their passengers and go anywhere they want to go, except 12-seater buses. All the 12-seater buses will leave. They will leave and go to that area. So the people that will be moving around, taxis, Clando, motorcycle, and any other means, so that our brothers and sisters can get money for they can get taxi money. A bus will come and carry everybody and go, and our people will just remain dry. So those businesses are owned by La Republic agencies. They call them agents, they something. Agents. How many Anglophones work in those things? The whole Anglophone work, they might be boy in a car. They might be boy in a car. They are the one, they carry people, they carry heavy military equipment. Remember, buses can carry certain equipment that the military truck cannot carry. So they put them there and bring. And when they have something like, for example, they have something like an operation in Ambazonia, they will just carry people with those buses from Babusam, sneak about 200 people, come and put in our grandstand. They say, oh, Ambazonia attended this occasion. The world is seeing fake information from La Republic because those buses are bringing them. Those buses are bringing them. They can carry 3 buses and bring for 70 people or 4 buses. How many is that, Mr. Paddy? 70 times 4. How many is that? You see, we are talking about 280 people. They carry them and bring at the same time, put them in a grandstand. They say, oh, Ambazonia attending this occasion. Or we just walk out from Babusam with the bus. That is what has been killing us in this revolution. We are letting the enemy feeding part on our territory. We are letting the enemy having control and command inside our rooms. You cannot be fighting me and you own my room. And then me, I'll be moving around the periphery. The time has come for them to relocate to the area. When it comes to the law, Barrister Fru, with all respect, my father was a court clerk. I don't know what that means in this modern era, but in the olden time, my father was a court clerk. I was a boy when he was. So when it comes to judicial things, he was a bodyhead as well. When it comes to laws and everything, I don't know what the law is. But there's one they say objection. Go back. Now, I remember that one they used to say objection. So when the Cameroon government say anything or they do anything, we might be here laughing. Willy is laughing. But Barrister, what I see every day, people that have been killed, people that have been shot. Cameroon government entered inside choir this past week, shot little kids who are going to sell cocoa in Nigeria. 7-year-old, they shot him in the back. The other one entered the bush, found him, but they shot him again. We are thinking that it's a joke. These people are killing us. We think it's a joke. We ask them to relocate. So we'll tell them to relocate. Yes. A thief cannot come to us. You need to wait for the United Nations to relocate the thief. What have you done yourself? Relocate him by killing, by hanging, by burning, by frying. Any other means that a woman will take to bring a child to this world. They can operate you. You can have vaginal delivery. You can have in vitro fertilizing, whatever. That's still, you are still having a pregnancy. So when they operate you, they can suction you, do anything to have a baby. And Ambazonia will deliver Cameroun comes on. Whether you come to help us, you don't come to help us. President Sarkozy articulated everything. Tell us what to do. Say, Willy, take this boat out. Don't forget, Mr. Paddy, there's no order that Willy will sign that will be more than the executive order. None. All the orders that he signed is just a sub-order of what we are doing, segmental order to reinforce what he gets. Probably I will give an order. Cameroun Army will follow. And Cameroun people will follow. Our own government will give an order. Where our people have to follow. Don't forget don't worry about those our brothers who have gone to La Republic. They are following La Republic order. You are in America, you follow American order. You tell me you cannot be in another country for another order. Let's face fact. So Paddy, this is what I'm going to say. For the drivers that will disobey, when we catch them, we're going to drink out of coconut on the same bowl. That's all.
That's amazing. I'm trying to follow up public reaction here. The phone lines have been open for a while
No,
now.
the various locations. We have heard about Mondoni and Matazem, but we need to know about Kumba, Mampe, going up to Nkambe, and so on and so forth.
Barrister, with respect to that, those ones who stay, those ones who they will operate where they are still operating, but we don't want bosses there. We don't want bosses there because the bosses are the ones that they carry those people to bring. But the one in Bamenda will close, the one in Mutengede will close, and the one in Boya. So that people will be loaded in Mundoni. So that we want to make a distinction. So when you are coming to Ambazonia, you know you are going to Ambazonia. You follow our rules. Our street will fly by taxi, clando, motorcycle, bicycle, any other wheelbarrow. You can travel with it. But we're not going to catch any bus, 12-seater upward, nothing. Because the army are coming in. Remember, the army does not move alone. Or two, they cannot move alone. The army they move in a set, like a squad of 12 and above. So when they are coming with those buses. I've investigated all our captains on the ground, our people on the ground. They are telling us everything. They are showing us everything. Say, boss, look at what is coming. Look at what is coming. We are seeing everything. Before we come out with this, it's not me. They are on the ground. They are seeing everything. So if we do, it will have a lot of people not to be taken unaware. How did they take us unaware? They come with the buses. They come and park in the park. The military will stay there overnight. They changed. At night, they change the military uniform. They enter the quarter. Before they hit your door, they do kale. Where did they come from? If they could have been coming with the trucks, we could have been seeing them. But they come with the buses. They mimic in our area. I would think that there are 3 buses standing in the park. But those 3 buses, they are killer. That is what is going on, Mr. Paddy. That is what is going on. If they move their army to the Republic, everything will be fine. Unless they move the army, then we are still at war anyway. You begin to judge me. They asked me to reinforce the president's order on the ground. I'm just reinforcing the order. I'm not making any new thing. I'm just reinforcing. That's all.
Okay, that's amazing. So we'll still be opening the phone lines to take some calls, but immediately after the break, I want us to take a brief break and watch this documentary. We're going to come back to take some questions. For those who were available to give up questions, I'm going to read some messages that are coming in from the home front, and then we'll discuss on the concluding phase. We're here to take your questions, and we're calling on everybody who is watching this program to make sure, be ready to call in. After the break, we'll be concluding the program.
The silent struggle of southern Cameroun's Ambazonia. A chronicle of escalating refugee crisis, human rights abuses, and global indifference. Dive into the heart-wrenching narrative of southern Cameroun's, also known as Ambazonia, where a relentless refugee crisis and rampant human rights abuses unfold amidst a backdrop of international neglect. Explore the untold stories of resilience, despair, and the urgent need for global attention and intervention.
I want to thank our head, Mr. Sako, for the kind gesture with the Willy, President Sako for we Amazonian land. Some of us we are disabled, and because of war, I lost my family, my wife, my children. I have only my grandchildren living with me. So once they make me continue to give us this lecture, because some of us we don't have means. Some will get some small thing for ourselves. I don't have the strength to stand and do something with one leg.
I am appealing for humanitarian support for my people. Ambazonian refugees need our help. In a world brimming with indifference, we are compelled by duty, compassion, and an undying need for justice to raise our voices for the unheard. The plight of the southern Cameroon's Ambazonian refugees cries out for immediate action. War, displacement, and marginalization have plunged innocent lives into unfathomable suffering. Can we turn a blind eye to such human agony? In the name of our shared humanity, we must act, and we must act now.
A cry for justice and compassion, the untold sufferings in Ambazonia. Well, it is no news that war exacts a profound toll on societies, tearing apart communities and fracturing families. However, the conflict between the Cameroons and Ambazonia, the southern Cameroons, has been ongoing for over 8 heartbreaking years. This brutal conflict not only epitomizes devastation, leading to the displacement of over 2 million people, but it also thrusts into light a harrowing modern-day genocide.
When the sound of gunfire pierced the serene skies over southern Cameroun's Ambazonia, a thriving community was thrust into a relentless storm of chaos and despair. Decades of socio-political inequalities, marginalization, and a belligerent occupation escalated into a brutal conflict, the effects of which have reverberated far beyond the nation's borders. Innocent civilians, our sons and daughters, mothers and fathers, are now faceless statistics in the stark realities of war, displaced, terrified, and forsaken.
It is sad to say that this is not just a struggle for survival, but a dire quest for basic human dignity. We have seen women and children in broad daylight, the most vulnerable pillars of every society, have been uprooted from their homes. They journeyed to far distant lands seeking refuge, but found themselves ensnared in different webs of suffering. The journey alone offers a taste of the brutality ahead. Countless souls have not only succumbed to the treacherous terrains of the Darien Gap in Southern America, but also the roasting deserts in North Africa, with some wasting in the high sea, seeking for safety and greener pastures. A harsh testament to the sheer desperation driving the young men and women and youth's exodus.
The people of Ambazonia suffer under the weight of intrusion, aggression, and recolonization by French Cameroon, with little to no international intervention. It is profoundly troubling that the global community continues to turn a blind eye why this humanitarian catastrophe is being overlooked and underestimated by credible human rights organizations remains a mystery.
As healthcare professionals and political activists committed to a just, healthy, and humane world, it is incumbent upon us to demand immediate international attention to this humanitarian crisis. We call upon world governments, humanitarian organizations, and individuals of conscience to heed the cry for justice. Humanitarian aid must be mobilized to provide food, shelter, and medical care. Efforts must hinge on creating safe corridors for those in transit and fair asylum processes for those who reach host countries.
Human rights reporting and underestimation of displacement figures by credible humanitarian organizations. Accurate reporting on the crisis in southern Cameroon is gravely impacted by intimidation tactics employed by the oppressive regime of Biya, leading to significant underestimation of displacement figures. While the UNHCR reports approximately 87,000 Cameroonian refugees in Nigeria as of March 2024, Ambazonian authorities, who receive daily figures from their people on the ground, assert that the actual number exceeds 400,000. This disparity underscores the severity and human cost of the situation. The challenges do not end with reporting inaccuracies. The Nigerian government authorities have reportedly interfered with the UNHCR processes of identifying and registering refugees, which may explain why many refugees have reported being denied registration by UNHCR representatives on the ground in Nigeria. Tragically, even those who managed to get registered have not received any support from the UNHCR for over a year now. The little aid that was initially provided was abruptly stopped without any explanation, leaving the refugees in limbo and grappling with uncertainty and despair.
Standing at the precipice of this humanitarian disaster, the world has a choice: to ignore the needs of southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, refugees, or to rally behind their quest for dignity and justice. This is our moment to rise above the noise of political rhetoric and take decisive action. Let us not allow our generation to be remembered for its willful ignorance, but for its steadfast commitment to human dignity.
Meanwhile, the French Cameroonian authorities have also reportedly interfered with and restricted the operations of human rights organizations such as Amnesty International, Doctors Without Borders, and even the UNHCR within Cameroon. These organizations, which champion the cause of human dignity worldwide, face obstacles that hinder their ability to provide essential aid and bear witness to the atrocities unfolding in the sub-Saharan African region.
Voices of displacement, the struggle of Ambazonian refugees in Nigeria. Life as an Ambazonian refugee in Nigeria is fraught with unimaginable hardship, with limited access to healthcare, rampant food insecurity, and scant economic opportunities. Many find themselves in a relentless struggle for survival. Despite recent efforts from humanitarian organizations and the Ambazonian government, the aid provided falls heartbreakingly short. In my 3 years of reporting on the ground, I have witnessed heart-wrenching realities: infants succumbing to hunger, young girls turning to prostitution out of desperation, and refugees driven to suicide by the sheer hopelessness of their circumstances. It is devastating to see that many would rather face the perilous journey through places like the Darien Gap than return home.
These desperate people are not so much concerned about the identity crisis because they are actually faced with an existential threat and have completely lost trust in all governments and institutions or organizations that are expected to provide urgent humanitarian assistance, as we observe in other areas where there are crises in the world, for example, in Ukraine and in the Middle East. The question then becomes, are they less of a citizen of this world? Or is this a race issue? Or is this deliberate neglect? We're therefore calling on the United Nations, and especially the UNHCR, and all other humanitarian organizations, the displaced persons, and the refugees from the southern Cameroons deserve assistance like any other people who are victims of war. We therefore call on these organizations to be fair, to be just, and to treat the refugees of the southern Cameroons with respect and dignity, because they are also children of this universe.
Over 80% of Ambazonian refugees lack adequate shelter, leaving them vulnerable to harsh weather and security threats. Alarmingly, the same number of school-aged children have no access to formal education, dimming their future prospects and continuing the vicious cycle of poverty. The gender-based violence is another grim reality, with limited protection mechanisms in place to shield these refugees from sexual assaults and domestic abuse.
In the throes of such adversity, the humanitarian spirit urges us not to overlook the plight of these displaced individuals. Accurate and transparent reporting, coupled with prioritized humanitarian assistance, is not just a logistical necessity, but a profound act of compassion. Every underreported statistic, every unassisted refugee represents a life in turmoil, a child robbed of their childhood, a family torn apart, a community devastated. The international community must respond with urgency and empathy. It is time for solidarity to transcend borders and for human compassion to drive actionable change. We must amplify the voices of the displaced, challenge the barriers to truth, and ensure that no soul is left behind in the shadows of this humanitarian crisis. Only then can we honor the intrinsic value of human life and uphold the principles of justice and equality that lie at the heart of human rights advocacy.
The Norwegian Refugee Council has shed light on one of the world's most underreported humanitarian crises, the plight of the southern Cameroons, or what they call the Anglophone crisis. The The anguish faced by the Ambazonian people is a heart-wrenching, and the silence surrounding their struggle is deafening. It is suggested that powerful interests, especially France's stake in the southern Cameroon's resources, could be fueling this tragic silence.
This genocidal war declared on us by the 90-year-old dictator Paul Biya on the 30th of November 2017 is raging, and our people are going through this horror in pain and in plain sight while the world watches on. This is our reality daily.
We must listen to the stories of these refugees. We must face the truths that these statistics reveal and push harder for meaningful change. We owe it to them to ensure that their voices aren't just heard but acted upon.
The drama. Yes, girl, bring on the drama.
Of the rogue government of French Cameroon will continue to solicit the material and spiritual help you need to enable you hold it together until freedom comes. Though all of us in the diaspora are considered as refugees and prisoners in varying degrees, we know that some are in more dire conditions and situations and require our support. In this regard, I call on all our patriotic comrades to support the goodwill initiatives of the Department of Health and Social Services and our Department of Women's Services that are doing their best to extend a helping hand to our hundreds of thousands of affected ones. We call on the humanitarian community at large to consider the plight of our suffering people. We know that one crisis in the world eclipses another, but our people deserve at least your advocacy. My people, let us all continue with this journey of hope, knowing the truth is on our side and even God will not forsake the just. It is no longer a matter of if, but when. And the tree of freedom we have watered with our blood shall blossom. Go ahead to celebrate this day around the table with your children and tell them the reason for this day. Tell them why we fight and why they are not Cameroonians. Recount to them the names of our true national heroes and pray for them that if we don't enter the promised land today, they must be ready to rise to the occasion and complete our journey. I wish you a happy Independence Day 2024. Viva our Ambazonia State Armed Forces. Viva the Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. Thank you.
And that was how the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia ushered in the global celebrations, the ambience where Ambazonians in different continents and in different countries, especially with all the images we've been sharing with you earlier on, will come out with their colors, with their beauties, celebrating, dancing, singing the anthem in very special ways, what a Frenchman would call impeccable, impossible. We saw individuals like Ma Midred will color their vicinities in the United States white and black. And it didn't end there. Many other different celebrations. And as we analyze, we're bringing to you some of these images, beautiful images that were coming in from Washington, beautiful images that were coming in from you saw there was a cabinet meeting with president, this very special cabinet meeting. So much beauty, and a lot of things that were happening. I can only but say this was an Independence Day to remember. Barrister Fru, Barrister Mbeseha, please talk to us. Barrister Fru.
Yeah, we just went through our Independence Day. The one this year was very spectacular and very important. It started with an emergency cabinet meeting which I attended Saturday and Sunday. And of course, on Tuesday, we had the independence celebration, both at the home front and in the diaspora. The pictures are there to show, Paddy. And I can only say that our quest for arriving Buea is a matter of when and not how we are going to get there. Thank you. We'll be taking questions, as you said.
Amazing. Barrister Mbeseha, please.
Well, Independence Day celebration is a reality.
Barrister Mbeseha, please talk to us.
I say Independence Day celebration.
It's like Barrister Mbeseha is cut off. Commander Willy, are you there?
No, I can hear him. I can hear him.
I'm talking.
He's there.
He's there. Quiet, Barrister.
Are you getting me?
Yes, Check your line, Paddy. Check your line.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying that the celebration it's a reality.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's no joke about it. It's a fact. Again, we have been celebrating the darkness. I've asked this question a few minutes ago. There is no thing that should ever have been celebrated in the dark. It should be celebrated in the public. During the week, for the first time, I watched on Equinox and different programs on different sites in the Republic. And they tried to debate October 1st. They argued back and forth. But none of them, for example, addressed February 11th. How do you celebrate February 11th without celebrating October 1st? February 11th is the day October 1st was conceived. And October 1st is the day the baby was born. And so these people are so shameless that they will go celebrate something called February 11th, which 99% of Francophones don't even understand what it means. They call it Youth Day, but factually that's the day we voted in the plebiscite. And then they will come to celebrate. They will come to October 1st and catch you and me, kill people for celebrating it, just for drinking a drink, for going down the street and say, "Okay, happy birthday." It's a punishment to them. Over here, where you and me live, we have seen all types of groups. The Black Panthers, they celebrate their days without anybody questioning them. The KKK, they celebrate those things. And then in Cameroon, for you to celebrate a day documented in the history of the nation, documented in world history, somebody will punish you for it. This must be total madness. Which I said in the earlier segment, we can only wish them and tell them, bienvenue à la République. 1er octobre 2025. Il faut nous joindre à cette célébration. On va boire ensemble, on va manger ensemble. Vous êtes nos voisins. voisinage, c'est bon. Mais interdire cette célébration, c'est une manifestation de la folie. So, let's keep celebrating. I just hope, pray that by next year, 2025, we'll no longer be hiding in the bushes to do it. We'll be in open town. And we shall welcome the President of the Republic of Cameroon. Oh dear, whoever he sends to represent him, he will sit on the high table with us. Because October 1st is a reality, like it or not. History is not what you want. History is what it was. And so, congratulations to all of us for making it happen, in spite of all the difficulties. Congratulations for our security people, Willy in particular, for standing up to the bullies. Because what's happening on Yaoundé and Cameroun is bullying. And shame, very, very shameful to our own brothers and sisters, who read history upside down. Who read history upside down? I don't know what of education they received. I would imagine that whoever went to University of Yaoundé or University of Boya, they don't do anything. But I also went there. I went to University of Yaoundé. Had them already of history changed so much? So it is total madness. We will celebrate that day. We don't have to take their permission to do it. It is our right, supported by ourselves, supported by international law. And so, again, the President said, we are a people under international law. We shall be able to determine what we want. Self-determination, not what somebody else wants to give us. And the UN, thank you for telling us that we should never allow ourselves to be defined by someone else. We define our own charter. We charter our own path. My country people, whoever, notwithstanding, we define ourselves. We are a nation born on the 1st of October, 1961. It's not a choice. They don't have to like it. Over to you. Over to you, Paddy.
Yeah, talking about a nation born on the 1st of October 1961, I want to believe that you guys can hear me. Can you hear me?
We do.
Yes, can you hear me, please?
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah. We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Now, I think, yeah, I'm having.
Paddy, I think you should check your line.
Yeah, I'm having some connectivity issues, which I'm working on it already. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yeah. Now, talking about a nation born in 1961, we are going to conclude on this so that Commander Willy will come to talk to us in that aspect of it in the conclusion part.
Excuse me? Are you saying there are no calls from home front? No questions, nothing.
We've had some people send messages. The number has been up all through the show, and we have those who are watching. Now, when Ambazonians don't call, meaning they're satisfied with whatever is happening. Okay, I have this guy at the home front send a message. I may want to go through it, and this is what he's saying. He's Nico, when he's just uploading whatever we're saying. He follows on one of the posts. Okay, no, he is sending a message to say that he's enjoying the show. Basically, he has said some things here. Oh, now the new number is on the screen. You don't need to bother yourself with the old number. Forget about the old number and focus on the number that's on your screen. The number to use, that's what he's saying, is on your screen.
Put it back up.
So why?
Put it back up.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, someone from Ground Zero. Okay, this somebody says, Paddy, I'm from Boyo. I just want to say I'm watching you all the barristers and congratulations. Greetings, comrade, please. Comrade, he has given his name. How can you give your name? I can't call your name. Mr. Nzi, I think I'll end there. He says, I'm from Boyo and I'm watching you people. Congratulations. We're enjoying the program. We are the home front. Keep the ground. So basically, as you're going to be analyzing this, we have just a few more minutes to close. We will close whether or not you call in. This is something I want us to talk on very briefly. We don't have the time. We're going to discuss more on that next week. It's conduct titles. And so Angongo, they're now claiming that 1st October is not just on Southern Cameroons. That it is the day everybody, the two Cameroons put together, gain their sovereignty. How is this logical in international law? Barrister Mbeseha? You people know the UN charters.
Paddy, I have the impression that we are giving some of these criminals a lot of relevance. I wouldn't like to talk about conduct titles on national television because it's a criminal. It's a wanted criminal living under the protection of the British government. With all the atrocities he has committed on our people, he's been protected by the Secret Service in London, the MI, what they call them, MI what? And you want us to talk about him?
Okay, let's leave that side of the emotion. By Mbeseha, this is what I want. They are now strategically telling our people. In fact, they're trying to change the rhetoric, change the historical narrative of this whole independence. And the argument is quite elaborate. I was invited in DEFCAM early this morning, and we went a lot. I received a lot of feedback on my participation. Actually, him, Ngongo, Professor Ngo, and Ngole have been on that radio and many local radios in Bamenda Boya, educating the people that whatever we're telling them is not true. So whether or not we like it, we'll have to continuously re-educate our people on the truth and also interpret it, because the devil came to Jesus with the Bible to deceive Jesus. They're actually going to the people. For the very first time, Cameroon is interested in Resolution 1608. Cameroon is interested in the charter. They are now claiming that October 1st, forget about Koda titles, October 1st is their own Independence Day too. My question is, you have to eat. Why did they not tell us that? I went to school and these guys didn't tell us. In the GC ordinary levels, I passed history. In the high school, I did science. I passed history in Form 5. Now, they didn't tell us about 1st October. They did not celebrate it. Why are they choosing now to do it? Mr. Mbeseha, please talk to us. Very briefly.
Desperation.
I said that what a problem of full educated illiterates in Ambazonia. One thing is clear. We have said this. If this so-called marriage had not gone sour, October 1st should have been a celebration day for whatever place you call it in Cameroon there. Whatever narration their story, if it is the Independence Day, what then is a crime for celebrating it? That it will catch you and me.
Yeah.
If that's the Independence Day, what is the crime?
Why are they not celebrating it?
So the point is, I've said it just a few minutes ago. History is what it is, especially documented history. It's not what you like, it is what it is. The text is there. 1608. You shall become independent on October 1st upon. Independent 1st, October 1st, upon joining. So if
now, did they say French Cameroon was going to come independent upon joining?
Resolution 1608 has nothing to do with the Republic of Cameroon. Absolutely nothing. They're not mentioned. The only thing that mentions them there is 1608.4, which says shall become independent upon joining them. Otherwise, from paragraph 1 to paragraph 5, they are not mentioned there. It has to deal with Southern Cameroon.
Let me add something so that you conclude, Barrister Mbeseha. What about this situation where they're claiming, okay, we're getting a call from the home front. Yes, okay. We're getting a call from the home front. Yeah, hello? Yeah, hello, caller. Yeah, good evening, caller. Go ahead, Ambazonia is listening to you. We're live. Yeah, do you want to increase your volume so that the people can hear you?
We're enjoying the program very much, and just to appreciate you people. I'm calling from Mezam.
You're calling from Mezam. Precisely what LGA, Mezam?
Santa LGA.
Santa LGA. I want to ask you a question before you leave. I'm sure you people follow DEFCAM radio and all of these radios in Bamenda. What do you think about the lie that Ngole Ngole, Ngo, and the proxies like Konda Titus, who calls himself my country people? How does that affect the people in Santa and Mezam in as a whole?
Those are just adventurers. The adventurers selling after the market. Before they lose the game, they are just playing for time.
Okay, you said they're adventurers selling over the market.
Yeah, they're just playing
Correct.
for time.
Correct.
So the October celebrations from your statement has put them down. Thank you very much for talking. Do you have any other thing to say, comrade?
No, the thing that we should build more grace to your airports.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Okay, hello, caller. Yeah, good evening. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ground Zero.
From the home front. Where are the home front?
In Kupe Maningoba County.
Okay, Kupe Maningoba. Please, can you reduce the volume of your TV set? So what is Kupe Maningoba? Are you watching us on satellite? You're following us on satellite?
Yeah, I'm watching at having the TV. I'm having the channel.
You're having the channel. So how is the channel? Is it clear enough in Kupe Maningoba?
Yes.
Okay, make your contribution, please.
When I was, especially the match positive, just all over. I have courage that we are moving ahead.
Amazing.
I feel there is something coming. I just want to, it's my first time to participate. I just wanted to know, to see if I can get over to you people.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for calling in. So, you guys in Kupe Maningoba should stay safe. And how were the celebrations in Kupe Maningoba? Generally, we know Ambazonia was locked down.
Yes, everywhere was, we had serious lockdown. Serious lockdown, there was no movement. Everybody was in the house.
Thank you. You heard what the Captain Stallon said. Say, see something, say something. The president has said that when you people see, identify the true Ambazonian fighters and always inform them. Thank you, comrade, for calling from Kupe Maningoba. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, by Mbeseha, I'm coming back to you. Okay, there are others who are trying to call in right here. This guy is typing. I prefer you call. I'm not sure we'll have all the time to read it, but I'm going to go through. Now, by Mbeseha, I'm coming back to you. The point is, when they are claiming that there was a treaty of union, that's what I want the two of you lawyers to talk on as we conclude. There was a treaty of union. Hold on now.
They claim.
Hold on. There was a treaty of union between Britain that had custody over the trusteeship territory and La République du Cameroun. And according to these proxies, this treaty was filed in the following year after it was signed between Yaoundé by Britain and Yaoundé. The treaty, there was a treaty of union. Please, by Mbeseha, I'm speaking with you before.
See, there's nothing.
We're going to have a major discussion next week, but I want us to at least answer it now that the situation is hot, please.
See, what you call a treaty of union, as far as this Ambazonian issue is concerned, a treaty of union is something very far away. Go to 102, Article 102, and see where treaties fall. They don't actually mean anything. If you have to ask the treaty of union, it is in their place. If they are invoking a treaty, because that is where it lies. If you want to invoke the United Nations on any issue, if you have a treaty, you will not be allowed to invoke the United Nations until you register that treaty there. If there was a treaty of union, they must register it in order to invoke it at the United Nations or at any international court. So it is so irrelevant. Let me just go back to what I was saying. What do you were asking?
We have a caller by Mbeseha before you go back to that. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from? Yeah, hello, caller. Can you hear me? Where are you calling from? Okay, you're calling from La République du Cameroun, from French Cameroun. Yeah, Bafoussam. That's in the west region of the French Cameroun. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, make your contribution, please.
All right. I am of the Momo Club.
You are a Momo.
Good evening to everyone. Just want to appreciate you for the wonderful job. Yeah, I'm from the moment precisely.
Okay. Azriye.
But no.
Okay. Go right ahead.
I was just indicating that this treaty union you're talking about, I'm allowed to talk about it.
Please go ahead. Go right ahead.
Yes. As they say, so-called some people are insisting on a union of treaty union. If there was one, but at least it was negotiated with the consent of the two.
Yeah.
It was not a God-given treaty that they cannot touch it again. If somebody is not comfortable with the treaty, can it also go his way? That is the question I want to ask.
That's a very good question, and I remember I asked that question this morning. Thank you very much. So the point is, they are claiming that the treaty Southern Cameroon was not qualified because they were not a nation. They cannot be involved in diplomacy, so they were not qualified to sign a treaty, and therefore the treaty was signed by the caretaker, and that was Britain, between Britain and Yaoundé. What a ridiculous thing. I think if Britain can beat this guy, because you're putting Britain in trouble to say that Britain would have signed in the state of South Cameroon. Please, by Mbeseha, continue. I pray another call does not interrupt.
I was just trying to.
Have you cut me off? Can I leave? If you cut me off, I can leave.
No, you're coming. You're going to join.
I was trying to say that. Is there a call coming in?
No, yeah, just stop. This caller can wait for a few minutes. The caller will wait.
We talk about treaty of union, which falls under Article 101 of the Charter, but it's better interpreted under Article 102, 1012, which says that for you to invoke that treaty, you must register it at the Secretary of the United Nations. So if they want to invoke a treaty, they should bring it and we'll see it. But again, they are so confused. This morning, I listened to their debate. Their venerable Abum Achwe says under the network that there was no treaty of union. But what they had, according to him, is note verbal, which Frontier agreed with Ahijo to be binding. And so it is not even, if they have a note verbal, which I have notes about the note verbal, that's a different, that's totally a different debate. And so maybe what we were doing last night, this is a debate. I don't know whether you are aware of what happened. Yesterday, I saw it on their website. The presidency, they have a TV operated by the presidency of Cameroon. They launched a program yesterday to be sponsored from the presidency by the civil cabinet, TV presidency, coordinated by CRTV For what? To sell essentially, because yesterday was the anniversary of the Grand National Dialogue. So they would come online, officially from the presidency, to say in court Paul Biya's vision had to be implemented under the Grand National
Dialogue.
So
I read that too.
I saw the letter from the presidency. I never knew until now that they have their own TV different from CRTV. So anyway, the fact that they are doing that shows the desperation in which they find themselves.
No, it's just it's like a state house media. I know about it.
Yes.
It's a state house media.
So
Initially, it was.
If they have a treaty of union, no problem, produce it. Then that will be subject for discussion. If they have
Amazing.
That's fine.
Yeah, let the Barrister Fru make a contribution. Barrister Fru, please, before you make this contribution, let's get to hear from this caller. Can you hear me, Barrister Fru?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, Barrister Fru.
I can hear you.
Yeah, please go. The connection is kind of messing up, but I hope we're gonna.
It's from your end. The connection is from your end. I can hear you well.
No, it's talking about the whole caller.
No. Okay, let's get to hear from this caller before you make your contribution. Please, Ochiba, yes. Go right ahead, please.
Mr. Director, can you hear me?
Yes, very loud and clear, brother. Go ahead.
So I everybody the studio and greet all Southern Cameroonians home and abroad. Like I put in my audio last time, that for 63 years or maybe since 2016, this is the first time that public citizens, they are talking a lot about October 1st. And I understand that when you are faced with a problem, the Republic is just manifesting the characteristics of grief.
Yeah.
About 5 steps in grief when you are grieving. The first step is that deny that no, you are not grieving, you are not in pain, you have not lost anything, you are not dying. Yeah, you deny, and then the next one is anger. Anger, like complete. We deny that there is no Anglophone problem, and when we go out with a green peace and honesty, they come with their anger and begin to kill our people. And then the next stage is what they call bargaining. Bargaining is like those backdoor talks that they have to go about, trying to bribe people, trying to create factions, trying to do all those kind of things.
Yeah.
Trying to say, penetration, blah, blah, blah. And then depression comes in. Depression is the complaint of their economy, everything is bad. Now they are coming to the last thing, which is actually than for this better so. That is the reason why they are talking about October 1st and this. It is in their DNA, they always deny before they accept it. Remember, in the early 90s, they refused to create multi-partism.
Yeah.
They refused it. At the end,
no.
And in the early 90s, when Willy was preaching about the sovereign national conference, they refused it. At the end of it, they went and created a larger debate, whatsoever. When something happened, there was a strike. They killed people. Country community came out and said,
zero more.
Yes, said no one died. They went to the north province, killed women with children on their backs. They said no, nothing. They are not Cameroon soldiers. At the end of it, they said, we have arrested those who were involved. They denied Abangabu. At the end, they said, we have arrested those who carried out the attacks in They also denied the creation of universities. They want to centralize university all in Yaoundé. They denied it. People fought. At last, they accepted as the great cities. When we called for the DC import, they also refused. We resisted. They came out and started, they created the DC import and the office, the back and all for the head. They tell us that there is nothing like Anglophone problem. All the continue to resist. They say, they got pluralism, bilinguality, decentralization, reconstruction, national dialogue, spatial state uses. How are you bringing these things to solve a problem that you claim does not exist? Yes. Now they are accepting, October 1st. They are dreaming that, oh, maybe they have to be celebrating it or whatsoever. Remember, October 1st is the day of our own independence. According to them, they are trying to say that it's the day we united with them. Okay, if we united with them to form a federation of two states of equal status, what was the name of the new state? What was the name of the new state in which National Gazette was it declared? Nothing happened. This is why in 2011, United Nations officials came and what they are to show you that we are still two separate people. Yes. Yeah. And then let me tell you they said that their country was divided. They were one under the German, under the Portuguese before their country was divided. What I'm explaining to them is that we have 54 countries in Africa, and all those 54 countries in Africa, the first one to have independence, I think, was 1958 or 57 of Guinea and the rest. So those sovereign states are nations that have achieved independence. So they don't define that they are sovereign states because they were existing like one in the 1900 or 1500 and whatsoever. Because they come here and tell us that the Germans were one under German. The Germans we were one under the German had a territory, a colony. The Germans signed Germano-Douala Treaty.
You cannot talk all evening now.
Yes. So the Germans did not sign Cameroun. The Germans did not sign a treaty with Cameroun. The Germans signed treaty with the Douala people and then went forward for the wars of conquest, defeating people and occupying an area that was later on a German colony, not a country. The German colony, not a country. Because if it was a German country, if it was a country by then, why then do you still attribute this to Germany? Who was the president of that
country? He cut it short? Can he cut it short?
Yeah, Barrister Fru. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Just conclude, please.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just trying to tell our people that we have resisted. When you see La Republic, they begin to accept, there was this, they now call us they said the state of Southern Cameroon. They never mentioned it. Now they are talking of 1st October. It therefore implies that we are on track. So what every Southern Cameroonian is supposed to do now is we have to increase firepower. We have to resist. Remember, do not attempt to attack a lion and miss, because when you miss the lion, where we are today, it will meet to Boya. There will be nothing like Northwest or Southwest or Anglophone Cameroon, and that is what the Republic is
going to
do. So our people stand strong, our teachers, our lawyers, even our chiefs, we are going to liberate Ambazonia and will keep you like how the British used to rule through internet rule. We are going to give you all that dignity. You don't need to go and kneel down to see them and all those kind of people like that. So I thank you people. Thank you. Sorry for taking so much time.
No, it's okay.
This is UN.
Yeah, I understand. We have been talking for 2 hours, so the contribution that you people call to make is important. Barrister Fru, I know you have been anticipating. What you want to say is very important. Just go ahead. There's a lot you have.
No, I wanted to say that La Republic is in a very difficult situation right now. They don't know whether every one of them, they don't know whether tomorrow they will still have a government or they will still have anything that is called a government.
Yeah.
And now they are looking for where to hang.
Yeah.
Because this question of not verbal by its French meaning, it's a verbal note. If you read paragraph 5 of Resolution 1608, which is what was required of them and us and the British government, three governments, the French Cameroon government, the Southern Cameroon's government, I emphasize that, and the British were supposed to sit down and determine the policies, the policies that were going to be applied in this union. And that article sends us by implication to Article 102 of the Charter, which my learned colleague, Barrister Mbeseha, has just cited. Where does it, if they think that not verbal will replace the treaty as envisaged by Article 102, let them bring it to the negotiating table. Let them join us in the negotiating table and make their case. They have been fishing and they are shopping for solutions. They are looking for solutions to try. I don't know what they want to do. It is too late for them to do anything now, because as we know, as some of us know, and we are listening and we are reading and we are listening to France, to what is the French media and so on, they may not have there may be a power vacuum in Yaoundé and they will not have a government. So they are all panicking. All this nonsense is panicking. The radio message you had. Let me finish.
Okay.
The radio participation that you did today, it's an indication that there is a panic. There's panic in French Cameroon, and it will not work. We are going to continue fighting them to the gates of hell until they leave our territory.
And just so we know this, it's quite important. This is an important discussion, and that will be the main focus of next week's debate. I hope to have Barrister Ghana and some others for us to have this discussion very intensely. We're going to have some new faces join so that we can get in depth. Is that Ambazonians will not accept? Because I would have wanted to bring Evis Ngole to come and sit with us here and have a conversation.
But with all due respect, bring him.
I'm going to vet that with ABC. If Evis Ngole, if these proxies, if they are willing, they should come and sit with us and let's debate. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You are muted, Barrister Mbeseha. Oh, sorry. I actually muted you because of the noise that was coming from your back end. I think I should give you back sound. What are you saying, Barrister Mbeseha?
I'm saying that go ahead. We need Evis Ngole and any other person, Francophone,
correct,
who wants to do
that, or even a British expert. I'm very willing to.
Yes.
So are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to have? Are you guys ready to have even Konda try to join us in this conversation?
Oh no! Oh no! I cannot sit on the same television network with a criminal like Konda Titus.
Look,
Okay.
if you want to bring anybody here, you should bring some experts, not charlatans. I'm prepared to
not charlatans.
Any other lawyer, any other expert, and if that guy comes here and defeats me, scores more points, I will concede. As simple as that.
You concede. If he comes here,
yes,
I'm conceding nothing. I'm conceding. I will concede nothing. I will defend him to the end.
It's a debate.
Commander Willy, you have to conclude the program now. We can't talk all day. I want you to talk on the ambience of the celebrations from the refugee settlements, the home front, and then the cabinet, the diaspora, and everything. That will be the final full stop of this discussion. Please, Commander Willy, talk to us.
Well, before I want to talk, I want to thank Mami and Papa for all the help they give you for fight this war. And as the war they go on, with time, if African Union and European Union they know they respond to us, we go do to it, they go regret. The war they for our disposal for stop this war. This war is in the disposal of the hands of Ambazonia to stop it anytime. President Sako have the yam and the knife to stop this war. As I said last time, look, this war is very simple to stop. All what Cameroon government is doing, they are criminal in our land. if Ambazonia decide today that they want to just stop this war today, President Sako can give an order, say we carry Operation Long Tail. Operation Long Tail is a special operation, therefore the whole West Africa will be grounded. As simple as ABC. Then that way everything will just be stand still. The whole West Africa will stand still and Africa will collapse as a whole. If they think that President Sako don't have what it takes to stop this war, he can give an order and that order will be carried out and the whole West Africa will suffer. So there are plans in place, there are things in place. When you talk, he just laugh and smile. Although the world is dancing around the circle, the ball is in our court. We should go and fight. We're not going to talk our way to victory. We will shoot our way to victory. The only thing that the enemy know is a gun. The police use a gun to chase out criminals. Ambassadors use the gun to chase out our republic. As simple as ABC. When it comes to the international law or non-international law, I don't know, Barrister. I will ask people, which law says they should go ahead and be shooting us for free, like games? Even in America, where I know some animals like wolves, they are protected. They're called endangered species. But the law, when it comes to Ambazonia, you people go by law. The law says the law says the law says. If you are fighting on the ground, please don't follow these things. Just shoot anything that comes to your way that's an enemy. Shoot anything that comes your way that's an enemy. Somebody coming to kill you, kill him. Somebody come break your house or kale, shoot him. Somebody come to your house to burn you, kill him. Don't sit there begin to say the law, the law, the law. The law judge those who are alive, don't judge those who are dead. You are a government. You are an army. An army is to serve and protect. Listen, the function of an army is not to operate anybody. Is to shoot and kill. If you're an army, you're an army in a country, you self-defend their people, you shoot and kill the enemy. The country is living today like America is because of American army, the sacrifice they make. Ambazonia is breathing today because of Ambazonia state army, the sacrifice they make. All Ambazonians are army. No, whether you are a civilian or not civilian, in your mind, know you're an army because when the Cameroon army come, they're coming to kill you. That uniform is not just for particular people. See something, say something. Help us, let's help and free ourselves. Last but not the least, when they send people like my country people to come and talk to you people, he's a pay agent of the Republic. He's not a minister of Cameroon government. He's not the minister of Cameroon anything. Ngole the same. So when they send those criminals to come and talk, you sit there on the criminal and they're wasting time. They are not paying anything. Nkunja title to say it's an Ambazonia or where he come from. He have not defined his county. Which county is he from? But I suggest that you bring people that are under a certain county in here to talk. People who are helping to draft ABC, people who are paying for ABC, people who are supporting ABC. Because you bring those people here, they are just come and wasting airtime. What I suggest we do as Ambazonians, not to bring people to come debate any nonsense over here, but what we should do, people who come and tell us the direction Ambazonia is going, how we're going to build good schools to our people, how we're going to build good church to our people. What are we going to do after the war is finished? Those are the pictures we show to our people. We not carry my country people to carry be wasting our time. As a scientist, we do not waste time with the old bacteria. We recycle them, we eradicate them. We should focus on what should we do to make our people better off. What are we going to do for those who have not been in school at this time when we get our country again, when the enemies have left? How are we going to restructure our educational program? What educational curriculum do we have so that we can portray this thing to our people? They can be seen. All what the government are talking is a waste of time. Our people listen to them because we are slow in showing our people what they should be doing next. Our people are educated. Whether they're educated or not, they know where to go. So don't bring people to come and debate. Debate what? You cannot be wasting time with the fool.
Commander Willy, we have a caller here from the home. Hello, caller? Yeah, hello, caller? Please, do you want to reduce the volume of your TV set? Yeah, good evening. Where are you calling from, please? Okay, you're calling from La République de Cameroun. Okay. Yeah, do you have a contribution to make on the show, please?
Yes, I do.
Which county do you come from Ambazonia? Okay, you're from Mezam. Okay, please, if you want to talk, just reduce this set, your television set, and focus here. Go right ahead. We're listening to you, please. What's your contribution?
Okay, I'm very happy. I'm very happy to be part of this. In fact, I give special thanks to Willy. I give special thanks to our Barrister Fru and Mbeseha. In fact, these two Papa, Fru and Mbeseha, I have something special for them.
Okay.
These two people.
Thank you
These
very
are
much.
our elders that are at this age fighting for us. because, in fact, I have something special for these two Papa, Pastor Fru and Mbeseha. I think we are grateful. They should not think that they're wasting their time. They're not wasting their time.
Yeah.
Yes. As the president said, that we should be around our children, teach them, so that even if we don't succeed, they will continue.
Yeah.
The ideology can never be killed. You are doing a great job there.
Thank you very much.
We are one party. I think we will talk after.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for your call, for the contribution you've called to make. Fellow Ambazonians, ladies and gentlemen, this is the logical conclusion of the program. Commander Willy, your argument is taken and understood. We understand that this is exclusively Ambazonia channel, but there's something about media. If we don't educate our people, if, like the president says, you don't inform them, we're going to consult with government anyway in case we want to bring any of such people. But if you do not educate the people with the truth, the people will be misinformed with a lie. And like Barrister Mbeseha and Barrister Fru are saying, they say they are willing. The people are educating Cameroonians, and the Cameroonians, some of them are believing. They are willing for them to sit on a round table. We know it's not going to change policy, but to ridicule them in front of the people who believe in their lies, the argument, and that will be a brief. They are not going to have too much time like we have all the time. We just want to put them like this with our intellectuals. Let them bring the documents they are talking about for that argument, and that will be good. Nelson Ochiba, please, we are concluding the program now, please. Yeah, we are concluding, please. You want to make your contribution brief, please?
Yeah, just one second. Yeah, I agree with what Willy said. That we should not just bring some lunatics to our television. So we like Barrister Fru John Nsoh. If you can bring someone who has an influence, a following, let's say the is the Cameroun minister,
yeah,
or a mayor, or someone who is a governor or whatsoever. That is where it can carry some.
The governor will not come. A person, Professor Ngo is somebody that I will try to bring on. Ngola, I'm also going to call him for an interview.
Yeah, let me suggest one person that you bring is going to bring a there is this archbishop in the Douala, they call it someone who speaks somehow, something. Yeah, those are the kind of people. Bring them on the media. Yeah, they can talk. Yeah, people like my country, people we should don't even pronounce it again. That's people like and it's putting it out there. So they will still go to people.
Yeah.
So we cannot be collaborating with Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We have come to a logical conclusion of the program. I must say thank you all. We have so much. Next week, the debate will be much more intense. We're getting into the depths of the significance of 1st October and debunking some of the lies that Cameroon is using their officials and proxies to sway our people. Ambazonians, if there's any time in your life that you want to know the importance of this platform, that time is now. Like one of our reporters will say, think for 1 minute if ABC is not there. We just had an international press conference yesterday that the president was responding to serious questions and debunking some of the lies. So if the president was not there to do some of those things, it will make it very difficult for us. Donations for the press conference, we still need to send some tokens to the journalists who participated, and there's a press conference in Brazil next week. It was supposed to be collective, but we were advised to separate. So there will be a press conference in Brazil. The date will be confirmed by the president. There's an exclusive interview in Washington with one journalist all the way from Nigeria with the president. and that also will be announced to you in the days. And ABC needs your donations now. For those who are patrons, early club members, it's time for you to send in your dues. And we are still collecting money for the press conference. If you have not given your token for the press conference, you've seen all the things that ABC has been able to do for all this while. These things cost money, and we are broadcasting globally. There's good news that we hope by the end of the year we might announce that to you. There are lots of things we are doing, and we need your unwavering involvement. Thank you for participating. Congratulations to everyone who made the 1st October celebrations globally a success. For those who donated money to enhance the celebrations, and those who are still donating, we appreciate you and we value every little contribution that you make. The payment platforms will be shared in all of our different forums, and we are calling on you to continue to give in. See you until next week. It's been Tarh Paddy.
Stand with Ambazonia. Empower ABC Amba TV. We are calling on Ambazonians around the world to unite and uplift ABC Amba TV, Ambazonian Broadcasting Corporation. In this critical time of war, ensuring the station's survival is more important than ever. But what does ABC Amba TV truly represent for Ambazonia?
At the heart of Ambazonia's war of independence, ABC Amba TV stands as a beacon. Years of recolonization, annexation, and French Cameroon's oppressive occupation of the southern Cameroon's Ambazonia have led to our exclusion. Our identity was hidden, our history distorted, our sovereignty denied. Queen of England is aware that the British Southern Cameroons were never a colony under France.
Since its inception in 2018, ABC Amba TV has been our lifeline.
Months of diplomacy have failed to resolve the crisis as fear grows over an imminent Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Our work in the dark is our chance to tell our stories to the world, to give voice to the voiceless, and broadcast the truth of our struggle.
We are serious about executing this revolution.
It has become a vital arm of our government in wartime, making diplomacy achievable and showcasing our untold stories.
ABC Amba, you guys know how important ABC is for this, our quest for international recognition.
Your donations can make a world of difference. Every bit of support helps keep our stories alive, our presence known, and our fight in the global conversation.
The moment they notice that we are no longer on air, they think that, oh, maybe La Republique has succeeded. This is about Ambazonia. One thing we must always remember.
Where would we be without ABC Amba TV? Let's ensure we never have to find out.
A revolution is a temporary state of insanity to bring about sanity.
Mobilize, donate, stand with Ambazonia, donate to ABC Amba TV.
Together, let's write the next chapter of our history.
It is better to light the candle than to curse the dark.
Support ABC Amba TV campaign. Ambazonia Independence, voice for the voiceless. Mobilize for change.